Comic Timing is member supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. We thank you very much for your continued support of the show, and you have supported 30 plus episodes in the year 2025, numbered episodes that is, plus a couple of extra points thrown in there for good measure. And for as little as $1 a month, you get some behind the scenes access, including occasional articles by Chris Naudus, some behind the scenes audio, some occasional diary entries by myself, and whatever else we can throw your way. So thank you very much once again for all your support at patreon.com/comic timing. If you want to give a one-time donation, that's also available at paypal.me/IAM sci-fi. Thank you guys very much, and onward to another year. Yay. Time. Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 270 of Comic Timing. Finishing off the year with a nice round number. Not too shabby on that. And, of course, joining me on this previews journey, as usual, are two members of the Time Bubble crew because they are very behind on their comic books. Mr. Adam Murdo. Adam, what's going on?
Well, Ian, the Christmas season is leaving me bloodied but unbowed.
Excellent. As you were saying pre-show, glad it's finally starting to slow down a little bit, and maybe you'll be able to breathe in another week or two.
Yes, but breathing is good. And tomorrow I'm even going to take some time off to do some of the shopping that I should have gotten done, 2 weeks ago, but never do because Christmas barn life.
But of course.
So true.
Yep. And the other behind man is Mr. Raf Suhu. Raf, what's going on?
The junior member. I was just thinking you should bring back like older segments and like sub shows. Like, what would be great? Timing comics.
Oh God.
You gotta bring that. You gotta get in contact with Bob and see if he wants to do it with you again. If not, you gotta.
That was one of my favorite throwaway bullshit moments of the show. Anybody who wasn't listening back then, it was for one of the anniversary episodes. Might have been episode 100 if I remember correctly. Bob Braytall,
really early on.
long-time friend of the show, came on and did a alternate version of Comic Timing called Timing Comics, where he timed the amount of time that it took him to read specific issues. Good times, quite literally. Yep. Been a while since I've thought of that one, so thanks for throwing that one my way, Ruff.
All right. We're old.
Yep. Before we get into the main previews portion of today, I get to use this one more time. Breaking news. Yeah, so it's all over for Diamond officially at this point. News broke 2 days ago that they are changing their bankruptcy from a Chapter 11 bankruptcy to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with United States bankruptcy law, that means going from a restructuring deal to a we are closing entirely and selling off literally every single thing that we can possibly sell off, and will basically be ceasing to exist sooner than later. That's the main difference between a Chapter 11 and a Chapter 7. The bank has agreed to a brief extension on a loan which was granted to Diamond that was supposed to expire in November to fund a limited additional amount of orderly transition to Chapter 7. It will be the first in line to get any money that comes in for its $6.5 million loan. And if it doesn't get fully paid, Diamond owner Steve Geppi is personally on the hook. Now, it's all over. Unfortunately, this means that 100% publishers are not getting what's owed to them. This is all basically Diamond selling off whatever stock they have, whether or not it technically belonged to them or not. Since they, were distributing it, it's theirs. Legal or not, it's a very tenuous situation, but they're basically going to be selling off every single thing that they possibly can to sell off and pay off their debtors, and in turn shutting down.
So you're saying I can't get my job back?
Yes, that's official, Ref. Yes, not that you would want it. Not that you wanted it anyway.
No.
But yes. All that stuff's already been sold off, mind you. So like the important parts of Diamond have already been sold off to other players. This is basically what's remaining with Steve Geppi that is entirely gone in this situation, which of course would be whatever stock they had left and whatever bits of their publishing arm they didn't sell off to either Canada or otherwise. So
and my copy of Daggerheart.
Yes, and your copy of Daggerheart, exactly. Yeah. I'm sorry. There may be amounts in some other escrow accounts, and there's been an $8.5 million of earnest money that Alliance Entertainment paid after it had been declared the winning bidder in the auction for Diamond's assets. But that deal fell apart when Alliance Entertainment discovered that Alliance Game Distribution did not have an ongoing relationship with Wizards of the Coast, as we very well remember. So. Yeah. Rest in peace, Diamond. You had it coming. You only had yourself to blame. To quote some Chicago on us here. It's been coming for an entire year, and I'm kind of glad to be able to stop talking about it, quite frankly, after this is all said and done. So, oh well.
But some shadows of the entity remains because we're still structuring these episodes of ours around the catalog that was.
Indeed. Yep. A whole bunch of the companies that used to be with Diamond are now either with Penguin Random House or Lunar or, somewhere in between, and still have stuff available there. It's just so fascinating how fast what was once a monolith can easily wind up just dying off. And really what it all comes down to is that it never even really deserved to be the all-knowing Oz that it once was. There really shouldn't have just been one distributor of comics. And in a very tenuous scenario where print publishing in general is kind of on a downturn, even if the money's still there, for someone like Diamond who made their entire money off of distribution, essentially, you're gonna go if you don't catch up.
Here's the thing: as the one person that can provide any sort of inside baseball, even if it's 8 years out of date, and I'm not held to any sort of agreement or anything. So, I will say from my time at Diamond, things were already, the bubble was. I mean, I was there for the peak of the Funko bubble. Everyone and their uncle had Funko Pop exclusives, and that was selling through, and people were buying 80 Funko Pops a month still. I gotta say, the impression, so we all have our impression of Diamond from the outside, right?
Yes.
How it became a monopoly and all this. The impression that they gave me from the inside is that they literally would just happened to be the last one standing, and they scrambled to pick up what they could.
Yeah.
And it's just, they were there by default.
Right.
And the reality is, I don't know what the agreement is between DC and Lunar, or the Marvel and Random House. I'm not that concerned about, because I don't think, even if Random House got a better deal than Diamond did, I don't think Marvel comic books are a significant portion of their profits.
Yes.
Let's be real.
Right.
So I think this is more for Lunar and DC. But from what I understand, the Diamond was given an agent's fee to distribute the comics. They weren't making, it's not like a distribution deal with other companies where it's hey, we are, retail is $20 for this item. We're going to give it to you for $8. You're going to sell it to your, customers for $10 to $12, and then they'll sell it for $20.
Yeah,
it's more hey, here's X amount of dollars. Distribute our comic, and the margins may or may not have been. The impression I got, because I don't know the real numbers, but the impression I got was the numbers weren't that number wasn't very high. And that's why they had expanded the sales department, which is what I was a part of, because they wanted to aggressively get into the collectible and toy market because, they had Diamond Select Toys and and Diamond Select Toys was starting to do more than just a handful of Marvel Selects and a lot of mini-mates.
Well, I mean, the same can be said for stores themselves. I mean, if the illustrious Eberly was here, he would go into the fact that Wild Pig, when it was struggling, Magic was making up a lot of it. Both cards and games and toys in general. That's how a comic book store survives is by divesting, having as many things as possible that you can possibly sell. And clearly Diamond was trying to do that. It's just they switched to that strategy way too late in an industry that was very much on its last legs. Not to mention, and we talked about this 800 times, like didn't really go digital at all. Where it made,
well, that's not their call.
No,
it's the publisher's call.
No, of course, but if given the opportunity, I'm sure that, say for example, in a world where Comixology had gotten bought by Diamond instead of Amazon,
I was just thinking that.
Exactly. Then that would have given them that digital distribution arm, or even one of the smaller ones, there's plenty of other digital publishers out there that if given the opportunity may have very well strengthened the revenue that were coming in and possibly giving them another stronghold. But we also know that digital only takes up so much as well, but it's still a way to keep yourself afloat. But this is all what ifs at this point.
Also, two of Diamond's largest national level retailers, retail accounts at least, were GameStop.
Yeah.
And
what do you mean? Their stock's doing great. What are you talking about?
And God, I don't even remember the name of them anymore, but do you remember those monthly Nerd Box things?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Nerd Crate, Loot Crate?
Loot Crate. It was Loot Crate, yeah.
That was the other one.
Oh,
and
God.
They both went under.
Yep.
So when two of your largest accounts go under, it's kind of a bad sign.
Oh yeah. I remember how sad those last couple of Loot Crates were. Like they were basically just throwing in there any stock they had left. So a left sock or something like that.
Where's the right one? We ran out.
Sandwich.
Sorry.
Exactly. Yes. Half of someone's sandwich that kind of looks a little bit like Homer Simpson's head. Like that's the type of shit you were getting in the last couple of Loot Crates.
Doritos crumbs. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's sad for anybody who was still working for Diamond at this point. I feel for you, but not many people were, because it's basically went tips up a while ago. One thing that I did not actually realize back in October that we didn't touch on, that I will mention very quickly because it was something that we were wondering earlier this year. Universal Distribution has officially bought the rights to Free Comic Book Day, so Free Comic Book Day will continue under Universal, who basically bought up all the important parts of Diamond anyway. So that was official as of October. So yes, that there will still be Free Comic Book Day as named, because it is not part of the assets that are part of this Chapter 7 liquidation.
Thank goodness.
I know. Yeah, because for one thing, it's too damn good of a name. Like even if it ain't free for the stores, it's free for us, and it's still a great way to get people into the stores, at least once in a May. So yeah. Rest in peace, Diamond. Long may you have reigned. ... Question mark. But whatever. We still got previews to talk about, whether or not it's Diamond or not. And we are all prepared for that here. And we will start things off as usual with Image once I get it up on this here screen. And here we go. All right. Excellent. Okay. Starting off this month with some new Brubaker stuff. Exactly. On page 1 here of the Image catalog, we get 5 Gears in Reverse, a criminal book hardcover by that wonderful team of Brubaker and Phillips. This is an advanced solicit, I will point out. So even though this is the December catalog that's mostly going to be, telling us about February stuff, this one ain't coming out for a while. So they don't even have a date attached to this yet, outside of May. So yeah. So it's going to be a while. A brand new criminal graphic novel featuring the legendary Ricky Lawless and the crazy tale of how he and Mallory fell in love in the midst of a crime spree. In one of the wildest, most action-packed books that Brubaker and Phillips have ever done, we delve deep into the life of one of criminal's most complex and tragic characters, Ricky Lawless. I just really like saying that name, too. Great name. He tries to pay off a deep debt to a mobster. This also sounds like Diamond's story, while things just keep going from bad to worse. 5 Gears in Reverse will have longtime criminal fans cheering the return of Ricky Lawless. And new readers will find it a perfect jumping-on point for the greatest crime comic series of the 21st century. Did we mention that Ricky Lawless is in this? Because he is. Looks like it's going to be some great criminal action here, 144 pages. For $24.99 before any sort of discounts. Criminal returns here on page 1. Some lovely artwork to go along with it on the following page. Curious about this one, too, here on page 3.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. White Sky. William Harms. Another great name. I wonder if that's his actual given name. Probably not, but William Harms, damn. You're made to be a writer, with artwork by Lee Lowridge and Jean-Paul Mavigne. 5 years ago, the sky turned white and the world ended. Violet and her father David are forced out of hiding and flee toward the ruins of San Francisco, where they believe they'll be safe. But in this haunted world ruled by ghosts, no place is safe. And this is White Sky. Merc, you're not at all familiar with White Sky as in comic books or anything like that. That's never happened in DC.
Yeah, something like that. White wall plus red sky.
Yeah, close enough.
And the dead returning to life, albeit via time travel rather than by supernatural apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Even so.
Yep.
Or rings.
We've seen plenty of zombie apocalypses. I don't think we've seen too many phantasmal apocalypses. So
no.
This has piqued my interest too.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus the lovingly rendered destruction on the preview pages here look pretty damn cool. So this may be your. It's weird to say the word supernatural Walking Dead, but that's kind of the feel that I'm getting here. Like something even further sci-fi on top of your Walking Dead is what you're going to be getting here.
Walking Dead with ghosts instead of zombies.
Exactly. Yep. So get that there on page 3. Raph, this one looks like it's made for you, quite frankly, on page 5.
Yes. Death Fight Forever. Let's see here. Super Thief, Bruiser Brothers, Crash and Bash Bagel jump into action to help Commander Thunderfang? Is that what that says?
Yeah,
Thunderfang?
Commander Thunderfang, the one and only. Yep.
Fight interdimensional crime boss Lord Slyther. But a run-in with Marlon Mendoza, leader of the Cops gang and Slyther's most formidable loyalist, changes the course of Bash's life forever. This is so like punk 80s cartoon. Like it's like an overload of like nostalgia here. This is amazing.
Oh, 100%. God, I'm trying to remember. Do you remember that like 80s action motif? Kung Fury. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This feels very Kung Fury.
Yes.
and Andrew McLean and Alexis Zirrit are here for it. Like if you threw Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal into a blender, I think you would probably wind up getting Death Fight Forever and chunky bits and all, quite frankly. So Death Fight Forever 5-issue miniseries available here on page 5. I may very well wind up checking this out when all 5 issues are available. The artwork in and of itself is so like G.I. Joe-ish, but with like a little bit off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's a
little bit of Kirby too.
Yeah. Excellent. Yep. Good stuff. And then on page 7, we get Dork. Dork. Half dwarf, half orc, all dork. Gotta love it. Brett Bean and Jean-Francois Bouliot are the team behind this. You had me at magic talking eyeball shield. Yes, that's the quote from Robert Kirkman. You also had me at that, quite frankly, because that is an awesome prop to be carrying around. With a wholly inconvenient doomsday prophecy, the half-dwarf, half-orc, all-dork is fated to end the world. Soon every human, elf, goblin, dwarf, snargletooth, necroid, ice giant, trauma llama, and at least 3 other unpronounceable magical creatures will know his name and want him dead. There will also be chicken.
Oh, good.
Yeah, good. Leroy Jenkins will be happy. Yeah. Yep. Good on that. Dork available on page 7. Insane artwork on the next couple of pages to go along with it.
The title of the first issue is Dork Days Ahead. All right, this guy's head is in the right
perfect.
place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got a very nice mix of like childlike like illustration meant for kids. Like it's sort of like a child's cartoon style, but it also looks very, very bloody.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Meanwhile, on page 9, The Scorched, issue 50. Part 3 of an oversized issue with a story that crosses over into all 3 of the number 50s that came out in the past months, including King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched. This concludes that story, so any of you Spawn Extended Universe fans, you got yourself here for that. And story... Get ready for this. The story is by The Scorched number 50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Practically writes itself.
Exactly.
Exactly. Because it did. Hey, I don't know if that's a typo or if that's them just saying they don't know who's writing it yet, but nonetheless, available for you there on page 9, The Scorched number 50.
I'm going to say the answer is yes.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. New miniseries by Simon Burks, The Thing on the Doorstep.
The plot twist is it's stolen by porch pirates before the story even begins.
Ah, nuts. That's
Sorry,
it.
spoilers.
Yep. Second page. That's it. It's over. No 5-issue miniseries, just 2 pages. That's it. Oh, well. At least we captured it on our Ring camera. But Daniel Upton and Edward Derby have been best friends almost their entire lives, right up to the point Daniel shoots Edward dead in the Arkham Sanatorium. Wow. How could they even get away with that? Jeez. Arkham Sanatorium, Arkham Asylum. All right, fine.
Not in my city.
A crime Daniel swears he didn't commit despite all the evidence. What happened on that fateful day in Arkham? I don't know, Batman, but you'll find out in this 5-issue miniseries, The Thing on the Doorstep.
Well, in fairness, I think the name Arkham actually predates its association with Batman. I think it's a Lovecraft thing.
Yeah, it's a Lovecraft thing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Still, though, it's kind of hard for your brain not to go there.
That's true.
Yep. Page 11 for that.
Oh, all right. We've got the latest Universal Monsters miniseries from Image here, and it's Phantom of the Opera this time. Written by Tyler Boss with art by Martin Simmons. The horrifying new vision of the story you only think you know.
And watch out for that falling chandelier. But, yep. After a series of violent crimes racks the Paris Opera House, Christine Dubois' career is in chaos. But the show must go on, and Christine will discover that no one, especially the mysterious voice whispering from the eaves, is what they see.
So I guess the Phantom of the Opera is here inside my comic.
Yes. You are correct about that, Raph. Yes, that's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
for the clarification. Yeah, no, totally. No, anytime. Just wanted to get that out there.
Also, just thank you for not singing it, because that
No. Yeah. That's way too protracted.
All right, good, because we would have been sitting here a while if you started with that.
Yes, exactly. That goes on for so long.
It does. It really does. All right, that's available there on page 13 with some beautiful artwork. Preview on the next couple. Good stuff. Very J.H. Williams II on the artwork. All right. Homophiles. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero #2, first appearance of Quinn. Reprinting that, Don Perlin, Jack Abel, and Bob Sharon on the artwork chores for this Larry Hama story from years gone by. And the remember, that's Skybound that put this one out, not Marvel, even though that corner box looks very familiar. But, you know, what are you going to do? Reprinting that in full. So do check that out for any of you G.I. Joe fans on page 15. Then there's a black and white one-shot of Radiant Black. That's pretty cool. Celebrating
its... Oh my God, it's been 5 years?
It's hard to believe it's been that long already, but yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Where's the time go?
This actually reprints Marcelo Costa's crisp inks from Radiant Black #1 in black and white. So even though it's listed as a one-shot, it is just the first issue in full black and white to celebrate the 5th anniversary. So if you want some pretty pencils, you'll find that there on page 16. All right. Get further down. A lot of stuff is ongoing. I will mention Capes issue 4 in passing, as once again, happy to see that back in print there on page 20. And as we get further down, Death to Pachuco, #5 of 5. So that finishes that miniseries up by Henry Barajas on page 23. I'm sure there will be a trade forthcoming for that one sooner than later. Final Boss issue 4 by Tyler Kirkham.
Ooh, a comic about The Rock.
Indeed. No, different Final Boss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Issue 29 of the G.I. Joe comic, issue 19 on page 29 of the G.I. Joe comic brings us a brand spanking new story arc, and it's Joe versus Transformer. When Duke discovers that Clutch has been hiding the Autobot Hound from the Joes, can anyone stop him from putting down Hound permanently? We will find that out here. Joshua Williamson, Andrea Milana, and Lee Lowridge bring us a crossover that 80s kids really, really wanted back in a day, and now we get it here.
I need to catch up.
Yeah.
Real quick, can you go back up one?
Yeah. Yep.
Because Free Planet...
Yeah.
I reviewed the first episode of the first issue of that.
Yes.
On the first Comics Catch Up.
Yep.
And this is the start of a new story arc.
Yes.
And I have the first volume here.
Mm-hmm.
I just got it from DCBS yesterday.
Yeah.
Here it is.
There you go.
So expect another review soon.
Okay.
Whenever. This is the pile of comics I've read and that needs to be reviewed. There's a lot, believe me.
Well, good, because this is the last full episode of Comic Timing for the year, so if you somehow manage to release one in the next 2 weeks, you will have a full Comic Timing audience. So
there you go.
Yep. That's issue 9 of Free Planet there on page 28. But yes, let's go back to our 80s hearts being very, very full with a crossover that we all wanted as kids. So happy to see that finally happening here.
Hound is the perfect choice to cross over with.
Yes.
Yep.
Now just send them all up against the Combaticons, and we'll have ourselves a party.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. And there's a spoiler cover, which is cover F here. I somehow think that it won't just say the word spoiler on it. It's going to have something special on it. So if you...
It's Stephanie Brown?
Yeah, there you go.
I like the way you think.
Page 29 for that. And then on page 30, we get issue 325 of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. 2 all-new Joes make their first appearance as Duke and Roadblock lead a dangerous cover-up into Barovia. A new era for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero starts here with an excellent cover by Andy Kubert. That is some
They're taking on Strahd?
No, they're not.
Okay, because we took on Strahd and we won. I mean, they could do it.
I know. Different Barovia.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So D&D fans, they are not going to be rolling for initiative in this particular comic here. They're just going to take the initiative and attack. So,
Yo, Joe.
Yep. Congrats on 325 issues for Larry Hama on page 30. Geiger reaches its 21st issue and the end of another story arc here. The Northerner Dead America Part 2. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Geiger epic continues here on page 31. And as we get further...
Lots of countries have a north.
That's very true. Yes, they do. I Hate Fairyland number 48. Scotty Young and Derek Loffman on page 35. 2 away from the 50th issue of I Hate Fairyland. Getting pretty close to that. And King Spawn has existed for 54 issues now. He's the King Spawn, page 37.
It's good to be the king.
There you go. It's pronounced Frankenstein, by the way. But Power Fantasy reaches its end of arc, issue 16 as well. Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard on the writing and story. Okay, then. You win. Let's do a fight. Great solicitation there for the Power Fantasy issue 16 on page 41. Succinct and to the point.
That's another series I think I have the first trade of.
Nice. Speaking of end of story arcs, Radiant Black issue 42 finishes that story arc up. And it will once again change Radiant Black forever. We'll see about that, but we'll know for sure soon enough on page 42. Whole bunch of other stuff mid-story, and yes, no saga this month. Savage Dragon is 279 issues in at this point, and I like how they're using the Comics Code Authority thing to say another Eric Larson smash hit as America's greatest comic magazine reaches its 279th issue. Story by Eric Larson, art by Eric Larson, and Eric Larson by Eric Larson on page 48.
Fair enough. I liked Eric Larson better when he was written by Morrison.
Yeah. It was only for like 3 issues anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Brand new story arc of Remenders the Seasons also kicks off this month on page 49. That's issue 9 of that particular book. And down we go into the... you know what? Actually, we'll mention this before we get to trades. Of course, Autobots vs. Decepticons and Transformers number 29 by Robert Kirkman and newcomer Dan Mora.
Wow.
Yep. Autobots versus Decepticons, and only Spoiler can turn the tide. Once again, Spoiler is all over the place here. Stephanie Brown just having her fun over at Image Comics.
Yep.
Page 54. We'll see what that's all about soon enough. And down we go into the trades. Crazy how much Youngblood appears to be selling. I'm like, I'm sorry, who's buying this? All right, fine. Apparently somebody is, so good for you guys. If you're a fan of him, then by all means. Across the Massiveverse Volume 2 brings us a whole bunch of Radiant Black tie-in books. This has Radiant Red, Radiant Pink, No One, and Cal at the bargain price of $9.99. This collects the first issues of all of those series into one collection, available there on page 61. It's a great way to dip your toe into the Massiveverse with this second volume of Across the Massiveverse.
Well, then they have to eventually get to Into the Massiveverse.
Yes, they will, at some point. I guarantee it. And here we are with this month's Artist Edition, and it is a doozy. Doctor Strange by Paul Smith, getting the Artist Edition treatment. Roger Stern on the artwork, and the one and only Paul Smith, of course. Robert Stern on the story, Paul Smith on the artwork. Experience the stunning artistry of Paul Smith during his fan favorite one on Doctor Strange in this deluxe oversized Artist Edition. This will collect various issues, including issues 65, 69, 70, and 72, and an additional 40 pages from an array of issues, plus more beautiful covers and pages representing every corner of the Marvel Universe, including Smith's very first published Marvel story from Marvel Fanfare number 1, featuring Daredevil included in there in the mix. So,
didn't this used to be an IDW thing?
Yes. For many years, they were the ones doing the Artist Edition stuff, and it's been over at Image now for a couple months now. So they're
I just didn't notice
that. Yep. Yeah. So they've just been handling that about half the year. I feel like they've been putting those out. So page 64 there for Doctor Strange Artist Edition. It's 12 by 17, 192 pages for 150 smackers. Then the third volume of G.I. Joe on page 65, collecting 13 through 18 of that series. I Hate Fairyland getting its 9th trade paperback on page 68, 41 through 45 of that. and a hardcover to go along with it on the very next page, page 69. Collects issues 11 through 20 in hardcover. New edition of the Invincible stuff reaches volume 14. Once again, these are the smaller print 6x9 books, easily accessible to younger readers who are into a manga format. So, Invincible New Edition Volume 14 on page 71. Don't give it to too young a reader because there's some crazy shit going on by the time this part of Invincible is hit. So, 79 through 84 of that series. We also got ourselves the Juniper Lodge on page 72 here. Another advanced solicit by Dustin Weaver, Jeremy Barlow, and DJ Bryant. Art by the eponymous Dustin Weaver. Dreamy and haunting collection of standalone tales where perception unravels, identity fractures, and reality bends. That's my favorite type of bending. Delivered with visionary style by the one and only Dustin Weaver. Twisted town in the Old West sacrifices one of its own every 12 hours at the demand of a demonic gun. A man finds his mind is trapped in the brain of an insect and believes the normal world he sees is a delusion. Help me! An abandoned roadside motel is home to an entity that has captured the imagination of a passing comic book artist and is drawing him back. All that and more available for you in the Juniper Lodge. Some very much Outer Limits-esque action going on here on page 72. Collect stories previously published in Packless, issues 0, 1, 2, 6, and 9. And we'll call out Redcoat Deluxe Book 1 hardcover by Jeff Johns and Brian Hitch. Collects all 14 issues of the Redcoat series from issue 1 through 14. 472 pages of sexy Brian Hitch artwork there for you on page 74. And the Universal Monsters Invisible Man hardcover. Speaking of the Universal Monsters stuff that's been coming out, James Tynion IV's take on the Invisible Man out in full in hardcover here for $24.99 on page 77.
4 issues.
Yep. 4 issues indeed. And that concludes Image. All right. Head ourselves over to IDW. IDW coming out with some interesting stuff this month. Looking forward to talking about a bunch of it.
Yeah. A SpongeBob SquarePants art book, for example.
Indeed. Yep. Here on page 2 of the catalog, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Art of an Undersea World by Tracy Miller Zarnecki. And just like you said, 25 years of SpongeBob SquarePants. And this artwork, this art book goes behind the scenes on the award-winning television series and its spin-offs, along with all feature films, including SpongeBob's newest, the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants. Apparently his previous pair of SquarePants broke, and now he needs to find himself a new one. But either way, this will give you some nice behind-the-scenes action and artwork on the series. Always love these.
I think that's in theaters right now.
I think you might be right about that. If not,
I had the misfortune of watching because I'm online all the time now. Someone showed me the music video for this movie with an Ice Spice song, and it's just what are the lyrics? SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
Oh, okay.
With a very good beat, but just SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay.
Now I just want to hear you Shatner that entire thing. Not now, but
eventually. We'll save it for another time.
All right, yeah, but
we'll spare the listeners.
But by the time this episode is out, it will be in theaters as the release date is December 19th. So
yep. I see.
Yep. So
I thought it was out already.
No, we're it's coming out basically this month. So yep. Mm-hmm. On page 4 here, we get issue 15 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing, with, of course, Freddie E. Williams on the artwork chores and Gene Lin Yang, on the story. About to kick things into a higher gear, according to CBR, which used to stand for Comic Book Resources and now just means CBR.
It just means Kabur.
Exactly. I'll cover that one. Turtles also learn who Ujigami's next target is, and the race is on to save one of their greatest allies. That there on page 4. And of course, issue 4 of Raph's favorite comic book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Godzilla.
Yeah, I don't remember what cover I picked. I think I would want the cover C, but that cover A is incredible.
It is really nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. Love it. Is that Toka and Razor? Like
Godzilla Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The two giants, that's Gigan and Destroyer.
Oh, okay.
But it's also Bebop and Rocksteady.
It's also Bebop and Rocksteady, yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because the designs are very Toka and Razor, to be honest with you. So, all right.
Yeah, well, but Toka and Razor are basically Bebop and Rocksteady.
I know. Yeah, in giant form and combined, they just look even more like that. But yeah.
In Pog form.
TMNT X Godzilla issue 4 on page 7. And issue 34 of the Saturday Morning Adventure brings us part 2 of Perils of the Pantheon on page 8 here. Get a third volume of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtle Power Pack, volume 3 there.
I almost bought this, and then I read that it was for children. And then I bought it anyway.
I almost bought it thinking it was for adults, but then I found that it was for children, and I was like, something for me.
Yes.
Oh, boy. Yep, Eric Burnham is the writer on this, so it's going to be good stories no matter what. Dario Brizuela, Tim Laddie, and Jim Lawson on the artwork chores. They're on page 10. Issue 8 of the Kaisei era Godzilla. They're on page 11. Godzilla is living inside a teenage boy, and a legion of kaiju are beginning a stampede across America. Fascinating,
Which
Captain.
is interesting because Toho just announced a new Godzilla anime, and it's aimed at the Southeast Asian market, and it's a hero anime. And the main character is a teenage boy who somehow exhibits the powers of Godzilla. Which is very similar to the plot of this comic.
I was going to say, so what you're saying is that it's this. It's basically this.
Well, that main character looks a lot like Deku.
Got it.
Like a lot. Like it's basically Deku that with Godzilla powers is what the art gives me an impression.
Okay.
There hasn't been a trailer or anything yet. Just the announcement and like the key art, but that's it.
Nice. Page 11 for Godzilla on issue 8 there. And of course, you also get Godzilla Rules of the Earth by Chris Mowry, IDW Classics Collection.
I have this digitally, and I want to get it in a book format, so I bought this.
Nice. In a pocket-sized 6x9 edition, for that matter. So
it's gigantic. It's 525 pages. It's 25 issues. It's gonna be. You're not putting that in your pocket.
I was gonna say, yeah, like maybe we should only use the term pocket size for something that can actually fit in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Right. Just because it's smaller than the average, like literally, it's like if it was a regular size trade, it would probably be like the size of this Critical Role, like this D&D book, like except maybe the little. It's gigantic.
Oh my god!
I can't imagine. I'm gonna have so much fun reading this on the train.
Oh, and look at the artwork, beautiful. Oh my god!
This book is great.
Yeah,
it's basically like an all-star. It's like basically like Godzilla Final Wars, where Godzilla takes on everyone,
nice.
But in a much longer, extended story that actually is really like. Final Wars is fun, but the plot it's fun. It's not good.
Right.
This is a much more developed plot.
Okay. Cool. That's there on page 12 in quote unquote pocket size. All right. We get the Rocketeer miniseries by John Layman and Jacob Edgar on page 15 here. The Rocketeer, The Island. Yeah. Fantastic. There was at one point potentially going to be a revival of Rocketeer on screen, and it looks like that is not going to be happening unless it winds up getting revived in one way or the other. But brand new Rocketeer miniseries here out of IDW, and he's returning to save Amelia Earhart in a brand new story by creator Dave Stevens.
That something doesn't compute there.
Yeah.
It's a never published outline.
Okay. I figured.
So it's probably like they found Dave Stevens' notes and he had like, Rocketeer saves Amelia Earhart, and then John Layman's going to fill in the rest.
But still, saying that it's by creator Dave Stevens is not the best way to phrase that.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
It would have been a lot better to say in a brand new story crafted or envisioned by Dave Stevens or something like that. That would make more sense, since again, John Layman is your writer, and John Layman's a damn fine writer at that. So hopefully this will be excellent, and maybe he'll actually find Amelia Earhart after all these years. Who knows? Page 15 for that Rocketeer miniseries. And then Street Sharks issue 5. Thank you. You're welcome. Moving on. Ooh.
Man, that is a cover.
That is a gorgeous cover indeed. Star Trek Deviations Threads of Destiny by Stephanie Williams and Gregory Maldonado. This year on page 17. It's a one-shot featuring Uhura in the 23rd century. It explores far-flung star systems with her crew and the Enterprise as part of her mission to communicate and build bridges with life across the galaxy. But in the 20th century, humankind was working to build understanding among themselves, with African Americans on Earth championing the civil rights movement and using their voices and acts of protest to end racial segregation and discrimination. Now, by way of the Guardian of Forever, Uhura is yanked back through time to 1963, where she'll join all those fighting for equality and justice and reconnect to why her work as a communications officer is perhaps the most important work of all. This sounds awesome. Very well-crafted idea here. Good. Yep, I'm completely down for this. And I love a good one-shot, and this is absolutely the type of one-shot you should be putting out. So, good stuff.
Looks like our friend Charlie Kirkhoff is coloring it, too.
Haha, there you go. Excellent.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Page 17 here, Star Trek Deviations, Threads of Destiny. And then the last Starship series by Kellyanne Lanzig reaches its 5th issue on page 18, and 5th issue for Star Trek Voyager Homecoming on the following page 19. We're also getting a Deep Space Nine omnibus by with stories by Mike Chen, David Tipton, and Scott Tipton, art by Angel Hernandez and Greg Scott. 3 graphic novels that let fans of the classic Star Trek series dive deeper into the world of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, collected in one package here. And don't miss out on these exclusive Lost episodes celebrating the 30th anniversary of the fan favorite show, Deep Space Nine. So this is Fool's Gold, Too Long a Sacrifice, and The Dog of War, plus the short stories Latinum Glove, Mother's Walk, Frontier Doctor, Only You Can Save Yourself, and The First Year. All available here on page 20 in one giant-ass collection. Damn fine artwork. On we go to Lower Decks issue 16. Just as the case of the missing Lapirians was about to come together, the Cerritos was heavily damaged in a dogfight against an unidentified vessel and forced to return to Federation space without the away team. Together they formulate a heist to steal a decommissioned starship and mount a daring rescue before their unknown assailants blast Laponia and their crew members away. Lower Decks issue 16 on page 22. Now, here was the cover for IDW this month, and we finally get to hear in IDW Dark, or IB Dark if you look at the logo.
True.
Smile for the Camera, #1. Hannah Rose May on the story and Mariana Puglia on the artwork. It's Fashion Month 2005. 5 young international models have just landed in New York City, ready to tackle 4 grueling weeks of runways, press, and cameras as they try to make it big. The girls become fast friends until one seems to crack under the pressure. Little does everyone know that she is afflicted by the entity, being bent on destruction and pain as it seeks to destroy lives through its horrific visions. So jump into the world of Smile for this one.
Yeah, it's the movie, right? The movie franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. First comic book for Smile. And looks like it's taken place in the further past than any of the movies have. So do check that out on page 24 if you are into very creepy images of people smiling, which is basically what that's all about. All right. Here we go for Twilight Zone. All right. Ooh, get ready. Stretch it out a little bit. Oof. Me. All right. This all-new Twilight Zone anthology series comes to a close with its final standalone issue. Our fresh tale resonates with the iconic original television show that's captivated audiences for over 60 years. Like the show, this story will be revealed in terrifying black and white. Imagine, if you will, a world where the urgency of science meets the obstinance of humanity. Submitted for your approval, the tale of a brilliant scientist who finds herself on the brink of a monumental discovery. A meteor emitting cryptic audio waves has crashed into the ocean and plummeted into its depths. Only she has the skill to decode its signals, but in the Twilight Zone, even the most crucial warnings can be drowned out by the cacophony of ignorance. Ba-ba-ba. This one's by Francesco Francavilla and artwork by the same. So you're going to get some damn fine storytelling in this fifth and final issue of this miniseries. I think I'm buying the trade for this.
Same here.
Like it's an excellent collection of creators tackling one of the best damn franchises in existence. And
yes, and doing it right too.
Absolutely, Murd. Yep, 100%.
Thought-provoking stories in glorious black and white.
100%.
There's a thing in the suit.
And we'll find out what that thing is through this very issue here. But yeah, page 27 for the fifth and final for now. Hopefully they will come back with further volumes of this at some point, of the Twilight Zone out of Ibdark. Ibdark. That's all it is. All right. Anything else of note? Yeah, let's head on to some top shelf, because I forget that's always hiding at the bottom here. Where There's Smoke, There's Dinner, Confessions of a Cartoonist Cook by Jenny Hayden. Available in November of 2025. I think, actually, you know what? I think I talked about this one before. That's just an advertisement. So.
I definitely remember us doing that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Then I don't think there's anything else of note because everything else is ongoing, including the other stuff. But, a manga hiding here at the back. Why not? Kinryo Rock, Code Amrita, Volume 1 of 3 by Bingo Morihashi and Manabu Akashige. Vampires and drugs collide, because clearly they had to collide someday. In the first volume of the Code Amrita saga by Kinryo Rock. What is the mysterious Amrita? 5 years ago, the world recognized the existence of vampires. Now, out of the shadows, vampires can live amongst us and share the world, at least within the 6 sanctioned districts. If a new society is to be born, it must first break a world. And for this transition to be orderly, there are humans and vampires ready to take care of any irregularities with the power of rock and roll, baby. Woo! That's what we get here with Kinryo Rock, Code Amrita, Volume 1 of 3, on page 38 here. Good manga artwork to follow on the next page. And that is that with IDW. So let's head on over to Titan. And Titan this month. Let's see. Conan the Barbarian. Tides of the Tyrant King. For free.
Oh, this is their first Saturday in May Day.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, because they can't call it Free Comic Book Day because they're not with them. Okay. Very interesting. Maybe they will also have it available for Free Comic Book Day, but who knows? But Conan the Barbarian, Tides of the Tyrant King, number 0, as you said, is their first Saturday in May book that Jim Zub and Jesus Marino are putting out. Maybe they're calling it that also because the rights hadn't switched yet, but whatever.
Come on, who knows? There's no answers here.
Conan of Samaria, dear God, believe that Tulsa's Doom's evil has been banished forever, and the Atlantean necromancer's dark power stirs once more, and if it cannot be stopped, the dead shall overtake the living. The tyrant king of Atlantis returns, and all shall suffer unless Conan and his brave allies can turn back the tide. Find out more in Tides of the Tyrant King, issue 0 available for free in glorious first Saturday in May Day on page 6.
Can't wait. I ordered a copy.
Nice. All right. Head down a little bit further. Diablo gets its own miniseries written by Colin Bunn. So tie in to the Diablo video game franchise here with Diablo Dawn of Hatred #1. It's all about the evil's prowling sanctuary following the cataclysmic events of Diablo 4 and its first expansion, Vessel of Hatred. So any of you Diablo fans who are looking for a little bit more lore, you get some brought to you by Colin Bunn, who's an excellent writer, along with Daniel Serra. So do check that out on page 11.
They just released the trailer for that first expansion during the Video Game Awards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's I think they're introducing paladins in Diablo 4 and Mephisto's there.
Ooh.
I don't like the demon with the actual Diablo. I think
Right.
that's because he's got the horns and the cover of the game and the deviling and the souls taking and the what have you.
Thank you very much, Sherry Lewis, for that description there. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Now the only trailer from the Video Game Awards that I cared about was that Street Fighter trailer and how insane it was. So
It looks wild. Actually, I am looking forward to playing Falcon Zero, but that's very specifically made for me.
and super fighting robot Mega Man, but that's
Oh yeah.
yeah. Meanwhile, back to comics with Lenore, Curse of the BB Yaga. We get first of 4 brand new Lenore one-shots by Roman Dirge. One day in the deep, dark forest, whilst out on a lovely walk, looking for some green grass to eat, Lenore and Ragamuffin find their chum Pooty, Pooty, at the bottom of a really deep, dark well. Turns out he's been beaten up and thrown down there by a real dick of a bee. When things take a turn for the worse, when the bee comes back and proceeds to beat the living crap out of them all, and then his Gram, the legendary BB Yaga, turns up and all hell breaks loose. Mondays, am I right? Eh?
So true. So true.
Yep. Lenore, Curse of the BB Yaga. First of 4 brand new Lenore one-shots available for you on page 17. Lenore is well-loved by many a person out there. Get the 29th issue of Mr. Zub's ongoing of Conan the Barbarian, new pulp-tastic tales in the tradition of Robert E. Howard, as they call it here, with artwork by the great Doug Braithwaite. Damn, that's very nice there. On page 21.
It's going to look good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a good book. You're going to read it now.
It also doesn't help that I just watched the original Running Man for the first time, so I've got a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger in my brain right now.
Yeah, I watched Kindergarten Cop not that long ago for like
God.
the 800th time.
Yeah, original Running Man. Not good. Bad movie.
I've heard. I've never bothered to watch it, but I've heard many times.
There's a couple of things that are good about it. At least the new one, if not great, is good. and I'll take good.
Better than the original.
Way better than the original. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Further along, Conan the Barbarian Scourge of the Serpent gets a 1-4 pack, if you want to catch it all up there on page 27. And let's see if there's anything else of note. Let's see. Unemployed Killers Support Group by Rio on page 40 here. For fans of Reservoir Dogs-style dark comedy and chaotic criminal camaraderie. Hey, that's me. A bold, bloody, and brilliantly offbeat ride through the lives of society's most dangerous burnouts. Welcome to the group. Check your conscience at the door. Walker Lloyd, once a deadly sniper, lost his vision and his job on a mission gone wrong. Now he's joined an unlikely circle of former contract killers, each grappling with their own personal collapse. Interesting premise here. Yeah. Unemployed Killers Support Group by Rio. Available for you on page 40. This was the 2023 Angoyemi International Comics Festival shortlist nominee. So Now available.
I'll give this a look.
Yeah, now available in English. Check it out on page 40. We also get Gizmo Riser, Volume 1 by Rokusuna. The Towering Kingdom of Eurunaria. Gotta make sure you pronounce that right. It's going to sound really bad if you don't. Society is literally built on inequality. The wealthiest reside at the top, while the poor are confined to the dark, crumbling depths below. Wait, how is this a sci-fi premise? That sounds anyway. For yeah. For Kuro, a young slave raised by his uncle in the lowest levels, life offers no future. Only labor, loss, and silence. But when his uncle is executed by the state, Kuro inherits a mysterious device, Gizmo, not Gizmo Duck, a pair of mechanical gloves with the power to grip, scale, and defy the very system built to crush him.
Blathering blatherskite.
I mean, these are basically grappling hook gloves, so okay, sure, why not? Yeah. Gizmo Riser by Roku Souna. Gripping sci-fi debut, perfect for fans of Blame, Deadman Wonderland, and Made in Abyss. Available for you on page 43. And that will close out the Titan catalog. And let's head over real quick to Dark Horse, and then we will do DC. All right. Dark Horse this month starts off with a Star Wars book. On its very first page, George Mann and Partha Pratim bring us Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Pathfinders. 20 years after Phase 2 of The High Republic, a brand new team of Republic Pathfinders is dispatched to a distant corner of the galaxy to investigate the strange death of a Jedi Master. But as the team wades into a web of mystery, they discover not everything about this mission is as it seems. Can the team save the day and solve the Jedi's mysterious demise? Find out in this all-new 6-issue mini, Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Pathfinders. Available on
His
page 2.
His senses were dulled. It's really easy. The Master's senses were dulled from smoking so much weed.
Ah, dude. Reaganomics.
An entire republic of people being high? This is ridiculous.
That's just crazy.
Someone's got to get something done.
Wow. Dude, I can see stars. All right. Lands Unknown, The Skinless Man. Sounds like it's going to be a comedy. Ben Stenbeck, the writer and artist of this, with a cover by the one and only Dave Stewart to go along with it. A stormy night in the mountains forces a lone traveler to take shelter in a witch's house, where the witch spins a yarn of the mysterious and merciless skinless man who is in pursuit of new skin at any cost, and the gang of warlocks who were foolish enough to try to deceive him. Lands Unknown, The Skinless Man weaves a tale for you. 2-issue series. First issue here by Ben Stenbeck, available on page 4. I don't know, I'll give him the skin off my back. Just the back, though. I need the rest.
Yeah, kind of hide that.
Tim Seeley's latest He-Man series continues past its first arc. I kind of thought the Sword of Flaws, or whatever it was called, was going to be a miniseries, but we're moving on here. There's
Indeed.
a 5th issue starting a new arc called The Battle of Snake Mountain. Fairly enticing title.
It is.
And the art is by Riley Brown.
Yep. With a great cover there by Jim Karalempidis, if I'm pronouncing that correct, but who knows? But yeah, no, good. Happy to see this continuing here. The first arc looked very interesting to me, so I may have to try to track that one down. So page 7 gives you more Masters of the Universe action. Further down, we get Mega Host, reaching its 2nd volume by Gabe Saria and Gideon Kendall. Young scholar of the strange Martin Magus and the supernatural giant robot Mega Ghost defend the city of Dunwich Heights against the threat of the occult kaiju. Wow. Yet another book made for you, Raph.
Yeah.
But a new menace looms.
I'm getting overwhelmed here.
For the sinister necromancer known as Ultra Ghoul has made a deal with the Nether Gods, dark powers from another dimension, to give him the power to defeat his arcane archenemy once and for all. This is the return of Mega Ghost for a brand new arc, available on page 9. This is going to be a 4-issue miniseries. And Usagi Yojimbo gets a Kaito 84 series, part 1 of 5, written by Zach Rosenberg with artwork by Jared Cullum. In 1984 Osaka, the bloodline of Miyamoto Usagi lives on through Kaito Usagi, a cunning rabbit thief with a rebellious spirit. He embodies his ancestors' legacy in a way the stoic samurai we know and love never could. A daring new heist for a legendary spear sets Kaito down a perilous path, forever altering his destiny and placing the fate of Osaka, perhaps the world, on his shoulders. So this is the descendant of the Usagi that we know, and this is a brand new take on the character. Set in a closer to modern day. Kaito 84 cool. Number 1, 5-issue miniseries on page 10 here.
It's a team of creators who are not Stan Sakai taking a stab at an Usagi-related character.
Exactly. Also, look at that cover C by Jim Rugg. The Miami Vice send-up, gorgeous.
Totally.
Good stuff. American Caper reaches its 5th issue. This is an ongoing series. Dan Houser and Laszlo bringing us that, along with David Lapham on the artwork chores. So that reaches its 5th issue on page 12. And Minor Threats: The Last Devil Left Alive reaches its series finale. Patton Oswalt and Jordan Blum, along with Scott Hepburn on the artwork chores for this one. Available for any of you Minor Threats fans on page 16. Night City, by the way, just want to point that out as well. That was on the top of that page. That's the 2nd issue of that. It's going to be a 3-issue series. And, of course, it's by Matt Kindt. So it's going to be great once it's all collected.
Yep, Matt Kindt teaming up with 100 Bullets David Lapham.
Indeed. Yep. Good stuff. Powers 25 reaches the 7th of its 12-issue run. Benison Oming continuing that on page 18. And issue 2 of Touched by a Demon by Kristen Gudsnuck, writer and artist of this. Disheartened after the disaster that was his first attempt at saving a soul, Bifrons gets the opportunity to try again when a man comes to B&Z hoping to save his marriage. But Bifrons is learning that the road to salvation is much rockier than the road to perdition. This is a 4-issue mini here with a great title like Touched by a Demon. Just thinking of Touched by an Angel.
Yeah, me too.
Good stuff. They're on page 20. And then the 5th of 6 issues of the latest Umbrella Academy miniseries, also available there at the bottom of that page 20. DC Archives Panic gets its first volume collection here. Al Feldstein, Nick Meglin. This collects the first 6 issues of that, including the banned early issues as well. So going way back into the archive for stuff that was not even allowed to be printed at one point on page 25. Thanks, Comics Code. You're the best.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No.
The Goon, A Bunch of Old Crap, Omnibus Volume 2. I love how they named this stuff. This collects the volumes 4 through 6 of the original Goon collections into one giant omnibus by the one and only Eric Powell on the writing and art chores. Available there on page 29. Long-running series. And then Nerd Inferno, The Essential Evan Dorkin. The very first interview that I ever did on this show, and I got my ass handed to me. I will continue to point that out. God bless you, Evan Dorkin. You made this man 20 years ago pee himself in shame. But it's great to see a collection of all things Dorkin like this, bringing you some of his best stuff from Dork over the years, as well as Eltingville Club and Milk and Cheese, all in one package here, available on page 30.
Oh, Scott, and it's got a quote from Patton Oswalt from Rakakuni and Minor Threats.
Ah, yes, indeed. Milk and Cheese is the cream of the crop and butter bomb of hilarity, and one other lactose-based metaphor. Thank you, Patton, for that one. Daniel Friedman's Stimulus gets a full collection as well. So that is a full sci-fi anthology graphic novel featuring 12 interconnected stories illustrated by multiple leading artists in the comic book industry. All available there for you on page 32. And I think that's going to conclude the Dark Horse catalog unless there's a manga that started. And there is not. So onward we go to DC. And DC, DC, thank you very much. As the beginning of this DC catalog brings back Vertigo. And this was announced over a year ago, but the titles were announced at New York Comic Con. And now we finally get those Vertigo titles for you all. And on page 2 of the catalog, we're getting The Niche House by the Sea, issue 7, under the Vertigo imprint that it so deserves to be under. James Tynion IV, art and cover by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. So that's an ongoing there. But we get Bleeding Hearts, #1, the first of the true return here, by Denise Camp and Stepan Morian on page 4. The zombies won. And 10 years after the fall of humanity, they're the dominant form of life or non-life on Earth. They developed their own cultural practices, their own language, their own society. Mouse pokes a golf ball through hole in head. Poke for short, is a beloved member of his community. And with his brother in arm, Mush, he's happy to shamble along through the only world he can remember until the day his heart mysteriously starts beating again. And in a blink, the first humans he sees have stopped looking like food and have started looking like friends. The team behind 20th Century Men, the bold mission statement that launched writer Denise Camp and artist Stepan Morian to the next level of comics industry, have reunited to bring you a world ruled by ruthless kill or be killed logic, pitted against the demands of a single beating, bleeding, emotional heart. Very much Warm Bodies.
I was just thinking that
one of my favorite recent movies about zombies. This takes a very interesting, similar take on that into comic book form, and I'm going to be all over the shit when it's out. So, Bleeding Hearts #1 by Denise Camp, the first new ongoing available from Vertigo.
Not to disturb you, but that movie came out 12 years ago.
I don't care. It came out yesterday. I not to disturb you, Rap, but I don't want to hear it. La 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 la. Warm Bodies, of course, featuring Mr. Lex Luthor. Luthor. Kyle Starks brings End of Life as his Vertigo entry with art by Steve Pugh. Professional hitman Eddie Stallion. Man, the names just keep getting better and better, I swear. Has messed up. He's accidentally robbed the Raven, nevermore, a high-ranking boss of the international cabal of assassins, the Menagerie, of which Eddie is a member, or he was. Now with a price on his head, Eddie chooses to hide in the one place everyone knows he'd never go, the small Midwestern town of Pluto, home of the estranged father and known hard-ass George Stallion. Even better name. Looking for safe harbor, Eddie instead finds his resentful father, that is, dying of cancer, old friends looking to collect that bounty, menagerie assassins who have wandered into town, a canceled newspaper comic strip creator turned local crime lord, and oh yeah, his childhood first love too. This sounds insane in all the right ways. End of Life #1, available on page 6, and some great preview art on the next page. The Peril of the Brutal Dark, an Ezra Kane mystery by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. New York City, 1941. Ezra Kane is a private investigator with a reputation for taking it on the chin if it means solving a case. But it's his former life as an archaeology student that makes him the only man to track down an artifact that's gone missing from the Museum of Natural History. An ancient anvil said to hold the power of the great god Hephaestus. If someone could harness that power, they could bend nations to their will. Science fiction, quirky, quickly becomes Kane's reality when a shadowy sect calling themselves the Brutal Dark appears in the city wielding resources that defy human logic. Now Ezra is the only thing that stands between them and their plot to overthrow America. Why did I become JFK? I don't know how that happened. Well, but either way, the peril of the brutal dark.
It's Chowder.
Chowder. And Ezra Kane mystery number 1 here. Love me a good mystery and throw in some supernatural on top of that, and it's just going to make me even happier. Available out of Vertigo on page 8. And on we go to the main DC stuff. And DCKO issue 4. I read the first 2. There was a lot of punching. All right, moving
They're
on.
here.
Yeah.
They're here somewhere. I got to catch up.
It's stupid fun, but nothing I need to read immediately. But it's stupid fun. It's good times. Scott Snyder, Javi Fernandez on page 12. Then we also get DC KO Boss Battle number 1. See, look at that. The Rock is back. Written by Jeremy Adams and Joshua Williamson, and art by Various. DC KO tie-in there. Yes, actually. Yes, Vampirella. Yes,
Sub-Zero.
Yes, Sub-Zero.
Looks like Annabelle from The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Homelander from The Boys.
Yep.
Finally, he's gonna get his face beaten.
If there is not Homelander versus Superman at some point during this battle, then everything's gone wrong, basically. But yeah, this is an epic crossover of insane proportions here. And you're getting that and more with DCKO Boss Battle. And then Night Fight, issue 4. I really liked the first issue. Shockingly, Dan Mora drew it good on page 13.
Hey, that Dan Mora guy's going places.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's a good thing his name is Dan Mora and not Dan Lessa. Just saying. You're welcome for that one. And I and I deserve that, and I appreciate it. All right. Connecting Gillum March variant cover with Superman Unlimited number 10 with this one, Ralph.
I think that's what I got.
Good for you. Good for you.
It's either that or the Parator.
Also, the end is nigh. As Superman's time in the tournament has taken its toll, and now Darkseid's Legion plans to make a massive sacrifice for their lord, and Time Trapper is too late to stop them. The 3 unlikely heroes can show the corrupted Legion the light. The end of the issue sets up the end of DCKO, but also massive status quo changes for Superman. What else is new? Superman issue 35 by Joshua Williamson. And then on that same page, Mr. Terrific goes to hell in Justice League Unlimited number 16.
No, not Electric Blue Superman.
Electric Blue Superman getting eaten alive on that cover. That's it.
He's too powerful for that.
No, that's it. That's the end of Electric Blue Superman. That's it. No, it's
no, he'll be back.
It's over, Raph. It's over. Page 14.
Him and Darkhawk. Well, Darkhawk's coming back.
That's true. Darkhawk is coming back. We'll be talking about that probably next month, but yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Speedsters from the present meet Darkseid from the past in the Flash number 30. A tie-in there by Mark Waid and Chris Cantwell. And Vasco Georgiev on the artwork chores. And a Titans tie-in to DCKO there on page 15 as well by Layman and Woods. How about this? Sirens, Love Hurts, number 1 by Tini Howard, art by Babs Tarr. First time we've seen Babs Tarr on a DC work in a bit.
Right.
Yep, Babs Tarr created one of the most iconic looks for Batgirl, and now here she is working on a new Sirens comic here, introducing Gotham's most eligible bachelorettes for at least a little while longer. First, there's Catwoman, who's been playing cat and mouse with her 2 favorite Bat Boys, Bruce Wayne and the Dark Knight himself, Batman, who are totally 2 different people. Next up, Harley Quinn, who's recently single and now committed only to her hot girl era. And Poison Ivy, who just wants to enjoy her solitude as long as her best friend Harley's there to enjoy it with her. And then there's the new girl, Black Canary, who's engaged to the love of her life, Green Arrow. But the closer they get to the wedding, the more it feels like they might not be so written in the stars after all. 4 fabulous women aren't meeting to discuss any of that, at least not willingly. There's a killer on the loose in Gotham City, and they are out to find him. Hence, Sirens Love Hurts, number 1, Tini Howard, Babs Tarr, page 16. And some damn fine Babs Tarr artwork to go along with it in the previews. Absolute Batman number 17. That Canetti variant is creepy as hell. and we're getting into Arc M with Poison Ivy along for the ride here on page 18. While Absolute Wonder Woman number 17, Diana faces off against a team assembled with only one mission in mind: take down Wonder Woman at any cost. So we'll see where Kelly Thompson brings us with that. We also get Absolute Wonder Woman Annual number 1, the first Absolute Wonder Woman Annual by Kelly Thompson and Matea de Ilu on page 19. Ooh.
We got Absolute Hawkman popping up in Absolute Superman number 16 on page 20.
Indeed. Those are some damn fine wings, I gotta say. Yep. Jason Aaron continuing his work there on Absolute Superman with Juan Ferreira on the artwork chores. And
I love this version of Hawkman, by the way, because he's just a right-wing shithead who sells out the Justice Society during the McCarthy era.
Oh my God.
It's an Absolute Evil number 1 to one shot.
Wow. Okay. So screw him.
Yeah. No, but it's great though. It's just he's such a parody of himself.
I love it. Page 20, by the way, also has Alien Autopsy. Love the cover for Absolute Martian Manhunter number 9. Getting played around like action figures. Dig it. And Absolute Green Lantern number 11 by Al Ewing. Joe Mullen is on the run. Can she get to the bottom of who is after her and how they keep tracking her location before it's too late? Maybe it has to do with that guy with a fin on his head. Maybe.
Possibly.
Page 21 there. Love the first couple of issues of Fraction's Batman that I've read. And this one involves the Monster Men, which makes me a happy man. Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez, Batman number 6 on page 21. And Evil converges on the dynamic duo in Batman and Robin issue 30.
And for me and Donovan, Batgirl number 16.
Indeed. The comic made for you guys. The War of Shadows must end. But, more importantly, Batman Superman World's Finest number 48, Enter the Crime Syndicate. Just continuing to make you a happy, Murd. It's like, what are we going to do after our Bizarro arc? I know, bring in the Crime Syndicate.
Well, first we had Joker Luthor, which is also really friggin' cool.
That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Now we've got the world's most fiendish Ultraman and Owlman from Earth 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Mark Waid will write them as characters and get inside their heads, and they'll be more than just little 2D action figure versions of evil Superman and evil Batman.
Exactly. Yep.
And we will enjoy it.
Damn Skippy on that. Page 24.
The artwork there is by Marcus Toe. He's not Dan Mora, but I'll certainly take him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But you do get a Dan Mora cover at least, so there you go.
Well, I think that's only the 87th book Dan Mora's on this month. He's slowing down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, slacker.
Mm-hmm.
The Courage That Kills concludes in Detective Comics 1106. Tom Taylor and Mikhail Janin finishing their latest story in that book. And Super Secrets. Talk about another man who only has one book he's writing, Mark Waid. Artwork by Patricio Del Pecci. If anybody wonders why Chris Cantwell is co-writing Flash, it's because Mark Waid's writing everything else. Action Comics 1095 brings us further
That's
adventures.
So wild.
I know, yep. Further adventures of Superboy. Page 26 there.
Yep. Looks like Pete Ross has built himself a wall of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if some version of Chloe Sullivan will pop up.
Certainly a possibility. She has existed in the DC universe before, so.
I remember.
Yep. And the prankster is triumphant in Superman Unlimited number 10. Clearly, that is the end of Superman and that acid that he is in on the cover.
Very clearly.
Yep. Oh, man.
I think I really wanted that Choi variant, but
Yeah.
I think I did get the connecting. I'm not 100%.
No, fair enough. I love the main, quite frankly. That's a great cover by Dave Johnson.
Well, you get the main. It's just behind the variant.
Oh, by the way, supporting Norton. Just pointing that out.
I mean, I've been buying this book since issue 1 anyway, so.
Oh yeah, yep. And that's there on page 27. And Superman Chains of Love special. Leah Williams and Dan Slott bring this together. Livewire and the Creeper forge a deadly new villainous alliance, and they make out. Gross.
Yeah, no one was shipping this one.
To say the least.
I do like that variant cover though, that Street Fighter inspired one.
Oh yeah, that is pretty good. Yeah. With the the power bars and all that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Ig Gara and Rosie Campy are on the artwork chores to go along with this this story here in Superman Chains of Love, special number 1 on page 27. Do I go on a date with my crush or make up with my best friend? If only I could do both. And that's Supergirl number 10 for you right there. Sophie Campbell and Joe Quinones bring us some nice super drama.
Mm-hmm. And there's Supergirl cuddling up with the super animal who's supposed to be her pet, Streaky.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Take that film trailer.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I do like that Valentine's Day variant, though. That's cute.
It is pretty good, yeah. Overall, I'm going to enjoy that Supergirl movie, but I do wish that Krypto was less of a dick. So that's yeah, fair enough.
Well, it's her fault. She doesn't train him.
I know, but
you have to train your dog.
But it's also James Gunn's fault for not training his dog. But all right, whatever.
That's true too.
Perfectly fair.
Yep. We get Adventures of Superman Book of L, issue 6 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, soon to be Marvel exclusive. Philip Kennedy Johnson. So this is his last DC work he's working on here for a while at least. On page 28, and Wonder Woman number 30. Stephanie Williams continues where Mr. King left off at the finale of this 2-part tale. And I believe Tom King will be coming back once this this 2-parter has concluded, if I remember correctly. Year 1 of JSA on page 30, as Truths Are Revealed by Jeff Lemire and Gavin Guidry. As our heroes converge on Starco in Gotham City, the villain pulling all the strings is finally revealed. Find that out together on page 30. And a can't-miss New History of the DC Universe spin-off to celebrate Black History Month brings us New History of the DC Universe, The Dakota Incident. Number 1. Very cool. Joseph Illidge, Stephanie Williams, Morgan Hampton, and Nicholas Draper Ivey bring us a whole bunch of stuff with Static, Rocket, and others who sacrifice to keep their loved ones safe, but as heroes fall in the past, the stage is set for their return in the present. And get the whole bunch of milestone action in New History of the DC Universe, Dakota Incident number 1 on page 31.
Yep. They may have fallen, but they got to get up. Got to go.
Got to go. That's it. Green Lantern number 32, A Modest Proposal? What? Are we finally going to get some Mowage for Hal? We'll find out. Jeremy Adams and Montos give us the 32nd issue of their Green Lantern. And issue 3 of Gabriel Hardman's Batman Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia, number 3. Quite possibly the longest title for a title out on the stands for DC at the moment. Issue 3 of that. And I'm sure it's going to be great when it's all collected.
Oh, me grandpa.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Raph, you grandpa, me Jane. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham number 4. You grandpa, and artwork by you grandpa. As we get the 4th issue of that series there on page 34, and some sexy ass artwork to go along with it.
I mean, the grandpa version of me can draw.
That's true. Yep. The 3rd issue of Batman Static Beyond, and also the 3rd issue of The Batman Second Night by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins there, all available for you on page 36. And then we get to this month's facsimiles.
I ordered the foil variant.
Yeah, interesting choice here with the first appearance of the Human Target in facsimile on Action Comics 419. And also Secret Origins Supervillains Limited Collector's Edition. All right, never mind. This is the longest title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing something different with these, by the way.
Oh, yeah? What are they doing?
Let me. I just got one. So like, I have the. You know how I have the Action Comics and the Superman, and I have the foil variants,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is the foil variant for I don't know what this is, but I'll open it in a sec.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is this? And
It's
this one is Action Comics number 23.
Oh, okay.
So
the first, Lex Luthor story there.
Nice.
I guess they're protecting their the foil with this. I don't know if I'm supposed to rip this sheet off or not.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna leave it on.
if you do, it will lose value when you get a CGC graded. So,
Well, I am submitting this immediately to CGC like I do with all my books.
Oh, of course.
All 18,000 of the comics I've ever they go straight to CG. I don't even read them. I've never read a single comic in my goddamn life. I don't know what you're talking about.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
You're a phony.
A big fat phony.
Phony. Hey, everyone, look at that phony.
I have the right people on this call. Detective Comics
Yes.
number 575 also gets a facsimile. Of course, Mike Barr and Alan Davis on that one as year 2 starts there. I'm sure they'll be doing that in full in facsimile. And the beginning of Whatever Happened to a Man of Tomorrow, Superman issue 423 in facsimile as well there on page 38. And for the 88th time, the Batman Adventures Mad Love Special by Dini and Tim, this time in facsimile, along with Dark Knight Returns in facsimile there on page 39.
No, thank you.
Yep. So, presenting the original art of this landmark issue. Interesting here. They're calling it DCWIP, as in work in progress. Dark Knight's Metal number 1. So this is just the pencils and inks of Greg Capullo's Dark Knight's Metal number 1. So if you just want to look at the pretty pictures, they're all there for you there on page 40.
Did Capullo ever finish his Wolverine run with Hickman?
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
I was going to get the trade on that, and I forgot to look for it, so I don't know for sure.
I think it ended, but it could just be forever delayed. Who knows? We do get a Supergirl graphic novel here, Supergirl's Family Vacation by Brandon T. Snyder and Sarah.
Oh, a friend of mine,
Sarah Louver. Oh, really?
Former customer.
Nice, very cool. Well, this is an all-ages a Supergirl story here. Kara Zor-El is an excellent superhero who is just not appreciated by the people of Metropolis. Summer's calling, and she's ready to visit Argo, floating city in space where the last survivors of Krypton live. These are her people. Since Clark grew up on Earth, she can teach him a thing or two for once. It's the perfect plan. And it gets even better when Lois invites along Kara's best new friend, Natasha. But when their road trip through space is interrupted by an old friend of Clark's, the family gets diverted to a strange and beautiful planet with a dark secret that only Superman can save them from. Kara's plans get pushed aside. Again, what's a cranky preteen to do? Hang out at the pool, meet a cute boy, and save the day, of course. Clearly, that's what you do. And that's Supergirl's Family Vacation there on page 43.
Oh, the Wolverine Revenge trade came out back in June of this year.
Okay.
So I'll have to pick it up. I'll have to read that one.
There you go. Galaxy as the World Falls Down. Interesting title there. The writer of Galaxy, The Prettiest Star, and the artist of Bad Dream, A Dreamer Story team up on a sequel with more romance, more action, and more queer joys. So any of you folks who picked up the first Galaxy, this is a sequel to that by Jadzia Axelrod and Rai Hickman, available there on page 44.
I hope she makes up with Esri.
Yeah.
Esri Axelrod deserves some credit, too.
They're working on that.
No.
You know what I'm working on? Picking this up. Because I am definitely going to be picking up a copy of Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum in full. All 5 issues of W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Marazzo's Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, available here on sale in April on page 46. And Dan Waters' Batman Dark Patterns while we're at it.
Yeah, Brent was talking about it last episode, and so I decided to order this one too, based on his recommendation.
Nice. But yeah,
so if he's wrong about it, we'll talk about it.
You are most definitely not wrong about Kryptonite Spectrum, Murd. I'm sure this is going to be a delight to read in full.
Yep. I just wish they'd hurry up and put out a paperback edition so that I can buy it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the paperback myself also.
Yeah. To be fair, when I say pick it up, I mean read it in DC Infinite more than likely, but still.
Oh, I should use my Marvel Unlimited and more often.
You should actually do that.
I don't need to buy everything.
No, you don't. Don't do that. We get Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age collected in full, Andy Diggle's Gotham by Gaslight story, and also A League for Justice collected in full there on page 48. Further down, Green Lantern / Green Lantern Corps, the Starbreaker Supremacy. This is actually collecting issues 25 through 27 of the main Green Lantern series and Green Lantern Corps 7 through 9 into one collection. So you can read the story in full there on page 49. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2, Revenge of the Crossover Comic. Brian Bucoletto and Christian Deuce bring that to you in full there on page 50.
I'm actually not interested in that one.
Good. You don't have to buy.
I don't like the MonsterVerse.
You don't have to buy everything. That's fine.
No, yeah, I don't like the MonsterVerse that much.
What I do like, no, it's not the Dark Knight Returns because that's always collected. So more power to you. Read it in a smaller form factor. But DC Finest Deadman. How many times can a guy die? By Arnold Drake and Jack Miller, art by the one and only Neil Adams, Carmine Infantino, Jack Kirby himself, and others. So this collects Strange Adventures 205 through 216, Brave and the Bold 79, 86, 104, and 133. An issue of Challengers of the Unknown, issue 74. Justice League of America, issue 94. The Forever People, issues 9 through 10. World's Finest Comics, 232 and 227. The Phantom Stranger, issue 33 and 39 through 41. The Superman Family, 183. And Aquaman, issues 50 through 52. That's some Deadman action right there.
That's
pretty much all the 60s and 70s appearances of the characters.
You got it. Yep. So check out your Deadman.
I'm so tempted by this.
Yep. And their DC Universe Bronze Age Omnibus by Jack Kirby, the 2026 edition of that. Whole bunch of Jack Kirby in the DC Universe there on page 51. I saw a couple of pages of that up close and personal at the Jack Kirby exhibit that was touring. There was a pop-up Jack Kirby museum exhibit in Manhattan 2 weeks back that we talked about on Chris and I on a Comic Timing episode. And they had a couple of his pages from the Fourth World and elsewhere on display. So check that out there on page 51. And of course, Justice League of America Star of the Conqueror. The start of it all, basically, by Gardner Fox, and Batman by Neil Adams, Absolute Edition, Volume 1 on that same page 52. Something for Brent, and possibly for Ref.
Yes.
But you probably have it already.
I do. Well, I had the original.
Yeah.
I don't have a collection.
Batman Sword of Azrael Deluxe Edition collects Batman Sword of Azrael 1 through 4 and Azrael Ash number 1. All available there on page 53 by Denny O'Neil and art by Joe Quesada, Kevin Nolan, and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Not to mention the Batman Beyond compendium.
Oh, yes. Good point. Yeah. Although that's a bunch of the later stuff, but that's Adam back when Adam Beechin was writing it, and also some Dustin Nguyen thrown in there for good measure. Dustin Nguyen also on the artwork with Norm Brayfogle. It's some good stuff. Some good Batman Beyond stories.
I'd also like to throw out a mention at the top of this page to Animal Man by Tom Veitch and Steve Dillon omnibus.
Nice, yeah.
Lots of people are familiar with Grant Morrison's classic run on Animal Man in the days of early or pre-Vertigo. This is what happened right after that. This collects Animal Man number 27 through 50, and also a few pages sampled from War of the Gods number 3 and Suicide Squad number 58 for that crossover factor.
Very cool. Good stuff. That's all there on page 53. And to close us out, Elseworlds Superman Omnibus. A whole bunch of old school Elseworlds Superman action here, including Superman Speeding Bullets, which is one of my favorites. Superman the Man of Steel Annual number 3 and 5. Annual 6 and 8 while we're at it. The Steel Annual. Adventures of Superman Annual. Whole bunch of annuals. I'm just going to stop reading them all off and say that
Superman Distant Fires.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and The Dark Side. The Dark Side's so good. I love that one.
Which one? What's that one about?
He lands in Apokolips instead of Earth.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Oh,
That's one of my first Elseworlds books.
hence the Dark Side. I see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I think that came out 98-ish,
Yep.
99-ish, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's one of my first Elseworlds stories.
Here, I thought that was going to be one where young Kal-El was raised by John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band.
Well, funny story. No, it's not. That's not what
Unfortunately,
it's
it's not.
about. Yeah. Superman Speeding Bullets was actually, I think, my first ever Elseworlds, if I remember correctly. I
don't think I got to it till later.
I had a copy of that that I picked up, I think in a back issue bin randomly, and I was like, "Huh, this looks interesting." And it is.
I think I got that at Big Apple Con, one of my early Big Apple Cons.
Oh wow, that's Big Apple. Haven't even thought of that in a while.
Yeah.
And this is a J.M. DeMatteis written story with artwork by Eduardo Barreto, and it's basically what if Superman was Batman. So why not?
Yep. It's a good story.
It is. Yep. Really enjoyed it. And on that same page, we get Legends in omnibus form. Boy, oh boy.
I would love to get. I'm so tempted, but they're like gigantic, and they're over $100 each.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, look, it's only 856 pages for $125. So
My Godzilla book's 500 pages for $7.
yeah.
Or $8.
There's a lot of freaking comics. Like I said, Raph, just get a DC Infinite collection, subscription at some point, and then you can at
I'll
least
do it eventually.
You can supplement your reading and read stuff that you don't already have in piles, just on an iPad or whatever. You know.
Well, I think eventually I'll just go down to the characters I love the most. Like
Yeah.
I will always, as long as Superman's in print, I will buy it. I will buy a mainline Superman
Completely understand. Yep.
And Azrael, Batgirl, Darkhawk, Thor. I think that's my top 5.
Yeah. That sounds like the top 5 you've given before.
Yeah. Not even Batman's in there. That's surprising.
Well, I will close us out with Omega Men by Tom King. I'm sorry, that was the Eberly for us here. The 2026 edition. Yeah.
Except that neither Chris nor I really liked Omega Men.
Oh, really?
This is one thing he did that kind of left us cold.
Right. Yeah. Because he wasn't too thrilled with the storytelling of the characters themselves. Correct? Yeah. Yep. Nor you, for that matter. So
yeah.
Yep. Well, for any of you folks who are a little bit more about it than Chris was, it's available for you in full there, and that will close us out after that. So let's head on over to DC. I mean, tomorrow, that is. We were just at DC. Let's head over to Marvel. No, we're gonna do DC again. Damn it! All right, fine.
One more time. We're gonna really mean it this time.
One more time. Only this time it's Marvel. All right. Daredevil issue 1 here. Did I stop sharing? I did. So let's share here. There we go. Voila. I was like, "Where'd you guys go?" And then I'm like, "Oh right, I'm not sharing." Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbett bring us a brand spanking new take on Daredevil, which a lot of people are in the industry are calling kind of like a soft reboot of the Daredevil character. It's not that what happened before didn't happen. It's just they're very much trying to bring him back to his roots a little bit more here. And hopefully Stephanie Phillips will achieve that. This variant cover by Dan Warren Johnson makes me want him to draw Daredevil very, very badly. But Lee Garbett is a damn fine artist in and of himself, so we're going to be pretty good here. Hell's Kitchen is full of secrets, but no secret stays buried for long. As a fearsome new supervillain named Omen has targeted Matt Murdock, it will be his alter ego Daredevil who takes the hits. But beware! This mysterious new player isn't all they appear. A secret Daredevil will have to learn quickly as he scrambles to settle into a life and status quo we've never seen him in before. They capitalized it. There's no other way to read it.
Very true.
Look alive, Marvelites. An all-new and unprecedented era of Daredevil starts right here. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now.
It's troubling that the price is please inquire.
Oh, my God.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah, very true.
Wait, seriously? That's what they put as the price?
Go back down. Go back down.
It's like ordering
Retailers, please
lobster
inquire
out of
pricing.
season, apparently.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
You know what that is, though? That's tariffs. Like, they literally don't know what they're going to be charging for their books. I almost guarantee you.
Well, they also have that BS blind bag stuff going around now.
Yeah. Oh well. Either way, maybe DCBS has the price up, and other places you can buy them at this point. So,
DCBS says $5.99 regular price, and their DCBS price is $3.83 after discount.
okay, that is some
$6.
That is some really nice artwork. $5.99 is not the price that a number one should be. So
sadly, that's not the last time we'll see that price point on a 32-page book in this catalog.
I am not in any way surprised. Yep. Ooh, nice variant cover there by Quesada. Hey, Quesada refound himself. I feel like there were a couple of years there where I wasn't loving his artwork, and now he's back to being Quesada. So a Captain's Crusade. Zdarsky brings us Captain America versus Red Hulk.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. In this one, so do check that out on page 9.
It appears to be a One World Under Doom aftermath story.
Aha. Hey, we're at the aftermath. Everything's fine now. We're finally at the aftermath. We can move on.
Story had an end.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Now here on page 10, we've got a great murderer's row of writers on Amazing Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral #1. Joe Kelly, Al Ewing, Charles Soule.
Indeed. Yep.
With art by Jesus Saiz. And a cover price of $5.99.
Yep. And 32 pages. It's a one-shot. The next epic Spider-Man and Venom crossover starts here and continues through April. So they'll be taking your money through April if you're interested in this. A new superpowered serial killer is on the loose, and they're coming for Spidey, Venom, and everyone in between. But what terrible secret has Carnage learned, and what does it have to do with Spider-Man? Well, true believers, you'll find out in this very issue if you are inclined to do so on page 10. And Mr. Zdarsky writes himself some Wolverine. Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon, issue 1 of 4, with artwork by Luca Maresca to go along with it. Armageddon strikes the Marvel Universe when an old acquaintance drags Logan into the search for a new abducted mutant subject. Terrifying methods of the defunct Weapon X program are revealed to be alive and well. As Wolverine follows the scent of the feral Tyler and the scent of his own trauma, he finds himself in a deadly race against a super soldier creating corporation called Prime Warrior, which was just hired a very familiar face, the fully armed and upgraded Nuke. Oh boy, not
Bit
good.
on the nose for Logan Paul.
A bit, yeah. But Chip Zdarsky and Luca Maresca bring us Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #1 of 4 on page 12. Give me a red. And we get ourselves a new Punisher series by Benjamin Piercy and Jose Luis Suarez. Crime's Worst Nightmare is back in an all-new ongoing series. As unflinching and uncompromising as ever, Frank Castle's memory is damaged, and he's hunting for answers in criminals alike. He'll get more than he bargained for on both when the nefarious and bloodthirsty Jigsaw returns, with the Punisher dead in his sights. Love me some Punisher and Jigsaw battles, and we're getting that here with some very Mark Brooks-esque artwork, if I do say so myself, in a good way. Punisher #1 on page 13. Please inquire regarding foil pricing. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, $5.99.
That's different than inquiring about the pricing of the book itself. So that's good. That's good. It's $5.99 for 32. Boo.
Yeah.
Now, do you care more about this Godzilla?
Yes, because this is so I just finished Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe #5. Mm-hmm. This is the direct sequel.
Nice.
Spoilers, they launch him into space to get rid of him because none of them can beat him.
Well, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, worked out so well when they did that with the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did very well. No consequences for that at all.
And this will be the beginning of World War Godzilla. Jerry Duggan and Javier Garrón and Iguara bring us Godzilla Infinity Roar, number 1 of 5. He's chasing after Silver Surfer in that one. Oh boy. Page 16 brings us that. And
that's kind of reminiscent of the Godzilla versus Fantastic Four, where in order to defeat Galactus, they stole the power cosmic from Silver Surfer to give it to Godzilla, so he would have the power to be he would be the Silver Godzilla. It was I don't know. It was something silly and crazy, and I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Is it as silly and crazy as It's Jeff meets Daredevil, number 1? The adventures of Jeff the Land Shark continue with Daredevil. That's Punisher on the cover.
That's okay. Yeah.
Pretty silly and crazy.
Yeah. They either that's a variant cover, but still, like, come on, guys. Let's at least be proper with our solicitation meets cover, if you don't mind. But yeah, it's Jeff and it's Godzilla and it's Kelly Thompson and it's on page 18. We get a new Moon Knight series beginning by Jed MacKay, who's written all the past Moon Knight series for the last 5 years, so it's not really that much new. But Mark Spector Moon Knight number 1 brings us the new number 1 that Jed MacKay is getting out of this. And guess what? It's only $4.99 for 32 pages. How about that? Still more than it should be, but what can you do? Page 19.
That's the new world we live in.
Wow. Celebrating 6 decades of the King of Wakanda on page 20 here. Whole bunch of different creators involved with this particular one-shot. The Black Panther Anniversary Special. Get some artwork from Georges Janti in there. Story by Evan Narcisse, Cody Ziegler, and others. There's thrilling stories from a lineup of fan-favorite writers and artists who have defined T'Challa's legacy. Don't miss this must-have tribute to T'Challa, Wakanda, and 60 years of the world's greatest protector. And then on the next page, the second issue of Joshua Williamson's new take on Iron Man there. Page 21. So I swore that we were already at the final issues, but I guess these are, we're not quite there yet. Ultimates number 21, Ultimate X-Men number 24 will be the final issue of that particular series on page 23. Ultimate Wolverine issue 14, and then Ultimate Endgame issue 3 of 5. Denise Camp, Terry Dodson, and Jonas Scharf on the artwork and writing chores there on page 25 as the end of the Ultimate Universe draws near. New 5-issue miniseries for Cyclops launching. Alex Packnadel and Rohei Antonio. I found out about this at the X-Men panel at New York Comic Con, and now here is the launch. Scott Summers is a mutant. He's a mutant who is always in near total control of his powers and his emotions. But what happens when he's separated from the X-Men, lost in a mountain wilderness without the visor that keeps his devastating powers in check? Will he be able to stay alive when Donald Pierce and his cyborgs, the Reavers, are hunting him? We'll find out here in this 5-issue miniseries where Cyclops will probably be closing his eyes a lot and feeling around with his hands.
Very true. Jinkies! I've lost my visor.
Nice.
Front row.
Page 26 for that. And then another miniseries that I found out about at New York Comic Con, Magic and Colossus, issue 1 of 5. How is this the first time they've done this? I don't.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, it's staring you right in the face. Ever since she's been, aged up, have the two of them go together for a miniseries, and that's what they're doing here.
Both too busy teaming up with Kitty Pryde to ever team up with each other, apparently.
Apparently the case, yep. The mutant siblings unite here for a 5-issue mini. Ashley Allen and Hermane Peralta bring us that story on page 28. And a new Generation X-23 series. Her name is Wolverine, but the legend of X-23 grows. Jody Hauser and Jacopo Camagni on the artwork chores for that. Laura Kinney was brainwashed and trained from birth to be the ultimate assassin, X-23. She's long put that life behind her, but it seems she hasn't quite outrun it yet. When Laura and Gabby encounter someone who seems to be their long-lost friend, the harrowing plot they uncover will turn their world upside down. Hence, Generation X-23, and where we'll go from there. Page 29 for that.
And on page 30 and 31, we've got what's basically a continuation of that Storm ongoing series that ran for most of a year, a little while ago, and which I thought was very impressive. The writer of that, Murewa Ayodele, is here with art by Federica Mancin. It's a 5-issue miniseries called Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant.
Indeed.
I think I got to check it out.
Most definitely. Yep. There may very well be further continuations after that, but for now we go to miniseries route. Second issue of the new Inglorious X-Force series by Tim Seeley there on page 32. And Rogue gets the second issue of her miniseries on page 33. It looks like her powers may be malfunctioning. Just say it.
Yeah, she's going all... I mean, the Mimic is the obvious reference, but I want to say Ultra the Multi-X-Man.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Get a new Deadpool series by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw. Wade Wilson Deadpool, in particular. Dangerous, unhinged, deadly, talks out of frame. That's him. Deadpool is a man on the brink, and that means the jobs are deadlier, the stakes are higher, and the humor is darker than ever before. But Wade Wilson isn't laughing. Dark memory haunts Deadpool, and a mysterious client leads him down a troubling path. This way lies redemption? No, something far worse. Wade can never be forgiven for what he's done, and the new ongoing series begins here. Wade Wilson Deadpool. Uncanny X-Men number 24. They better not turn Jubilee into a vampire again. We've done this.
It just got better.
Seriously.
Good on them. They do seem to remember that they've done that before, because the copy says Jubilee may fall off the vampire wagon.
Oh, God.
But, it's Gail Simone is writing it, so just trust that things will work out for the best.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. They better not. Page 37 for that fun. And page 38, Saladin Ahmed brings us Alpha Flight versus Wolverine for the first time in a while. Gotta love them when they fight.
Continues in issue 16, and there's even Silver Sable in the mix. How do you like that?
Oh, yeah. Nice. That's on page 39, that issue 16. And X-Men issue 25, special anniversary issue. Against all odds, Cyclops returns from the Age of Revelation, and with a dire warning for all X-Men everywhere. But there's trouble on more than one front. Who is the mutant newly put in charge of one? And what danger does that spell for the X-Men? We'll look into that and more in X-Men number 25. That's available there on page 40. Always got to go to the next page to find out what the page before was.
And on page 43, writer M and artist M have finally entered the studio and signed in. Sorcerer Supreme number 3 is written by Steve Orlando with art by Bernard Chang.
Okay.
That is a much better sounding creative team.
You're damn right. And that essentially means that this is a continuation of his previous Scarlet Witch work. So, yeah, I'm down. Absolutely. Yeah. Wanda Maximoff, Sorceress Supreme. And we'll find out where that goes here. And Madeline Pryor in the mix in this third issue. That's a really good team, Orlando and Bernard Chang. Good stuff. That's on page 43. And Tim Seeley's Psylocke Ninja, number 2. As Psylocke takes on Elektra, the retro pick, because it happens in the past, you see, on page 45.
Electric nachos.
Mm-hmm. Delicious, delicious electric nachos. I'll point this one out, Ref, because I don't think I made the joke in your presence the last time that we did. But the fact that this is called Dungeons of Doom, the wrestling fan in me, like, I swear to God.
Yeah, what a rush.
Well, not even that, but the Kevin Sullivan's faction from
that's right.
Yeah,
his little weird apocalyptic faction that just like, went nowhere.
Yep.
That's right.
With the Yeti.
About that.
It's the Yeti.
What a silly time that was.
So stupid. But yeah, Dungeons of Doom number 2 of 3 by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Benjamin Piercy. So this is going to be way better than that. It brings it here on page 48. And Black Panther in some fancy-ass suit for this particular one here. The countdown to issue 1000. You have to go to the next page to see what the countdown is, you see. But Amazing Spider-Man issues 21 and 22. Available on page 50 and 51. And the era of Space Earth Spider-Man comes to an end, and everyone is left to pick up the pieces. We're about to enter Death Spiral, so Spidey better take a deep, deep breath. Kind of looks like Phalanx Spidey, to be honest with you, but I know that's probably not what they're going for.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
He does.
Yeah.
He's teamed up with the Magus, just like Doug Ramsey before him. Or not, but Warlock, that's what I meant to say.
There you go.
Right.
Yep. The fifth and final issue of Eric Larson's Spider-Man Noir miniseries there on page 52. That'll be fun to read in full when it's collected. And the final issue of JMS's Return to Amazing Spider-Man, the Torn miniseries, issue 5 of 5 there on page 54.
Well, looks like we're a little late. We can see the perfect Spider's Torn.
A little bit. It was a little bit late, actually. I think it was about a month or two, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Great. Well, perfect. Fantastic Four number 8. Humberto Ramos gets to draw Malice.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's half the reason he took the Fantastic Four job, was like, do I get to draw Malice? He gets to draw Malice.
That's also one of Invisible Woman's skins in Marvel Rivals. They made a big deal about it.
Oh, really? Lovely.
I don't play the game, but I do keep up with it.
All right. Well, there's going to be some Malice action going on. We'll see where that goes. Issue 35 of Avengers, A New Universe? Not that new universe, but a new universe? Jed MacKay and Sergio Davila.
Can you scroll back up real quick just so I can see the rest of the Avengers in the cover?
Yes, you can. Yep.
Oh, they're screwed. There's no Darkhawk.
Yeah. Well, it's several issues interlocking covers, Raph. Eventually, everybody, including Darkhawk, who's ever been an Avenger, even for 5 minutes.
Oh, no, I see it because, like, Hawkeye, you can see, like, Hawkeye's right shoulder on the right side.
Yeah.
Many more characters than what you see here will appear.
Yep.
I don't think I can name them all, to be honest with you.
They even included Young Avengers in the mix because I see Speed there on the cover and Nova.
And Iron Lad. And I think that's D-Man under him?
Yeah.
The redhead? Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Wow.
Dennis Dunphy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch there, Raph. I didn't recognize that costume of his, but there's no mistake.
Yeah. The red hair and the D on his chest is a dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Ooh, we even have White Tiger in the mix there. Okay. All right. Avengers number 35. Let's see what this new universe is all about. Jed MacKay and Sergio Davila on page 57. And Hulk Smash Everything continues with Ryan North's third issue of his 5-issue miniseries.
Oh, great. Ryan North third issue. What's he going to make me cry? Is Hulk going to kill a puppy in this one? Jesus.
Yeah. Yes, probably.
It's Crypto. I'm talking about Crypto Murd, the 5-issue miniseries. It just very emotionally devastating.
Can we point out that Infernal Hulk issue 4 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, newly minted, Marvel exclusive Philip Kennedy Johnson, Into the Hulkscape. How many Hulks can you fit into an issue? We will find that out. We got World War Hulk, we got Grey Hulk, we got a bunch of Demon Hulks from the looks of it.
Immortal Hulk, I think.
Yep.
Devil Hulk, I believe, and at least one version of Betty Ross, because the Harpy's back there, or the Red Harpy is back there.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The World Breaker.
Well, issue 59. Issue 4 of that on page 59. Infernal Hulk, number 4. And Planet She-Hulk. Yay! Jack of Hearts is back in the mix. Thank you, Stephanie Phillips, for remembering that. Excellent. How can this be? When we last saw Jack of Hearts, he and She-Hulk were lovers. Why now do we find them on a distant planet locked in battle of death? The planet Sakaar really can change a person. Join She-Hulk as she tries to beat back her own past to keep the present of the planet safe. Planet She-Hulk issue 4 or Dragon Ball Z. Nice. That's on page 60 there. Okay, Black Panther Intergalactic Planetary Intergalactic reaches its 3rd of 4th issues here, and it's going to be Black Panther taking on a version of Juggernaut. So, yeah, that good luck there, T'Challa. Good luck. Looks a lot like the current version, although it's a golder costume. So I don't know about that. We'll see. Page 61 for that. And X-Men of Apocalypse issue 4 of 4 concludes this continuation of Age of Apocalypse if Jeff Loeb never stopped writing it, with a cover by Joe Mad that as a variant cover that I'm 99% certain they have used before, and they're using it again because I have seen that pinup before. But what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. The kiss that
I like the Art
changes
Adams
everything.
cover.
Oh, yeah.
With Blink and Morph.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good stuff. And wow, Gambit and Ms. Marvel giving us a smooch there on page 63. Facsimiles, baby. Civil War issue 7. This one's not delayed. Daredevil number 183, facsimile edition, new printing. You want to go back in time? We put out an entire Civil War delay episode discussing the delay of Civil War.
I think I was on that one.
You were. We were such fools back then. But page 64 has Daredevil 183's facsimile edition as well. Very famous Frank Miller cover there with the Punisher and Daredevil involved with that. And Stephen Grant's Punisher number 1 with pencils by Mike Zeck in full facsimile. The 1986 Punisher gets a facsimile edition here on page 65. Because you demanded it? All right. Issue 4 or 5 of JMS's 1776 reaching its near conclusion on page 66. As Jimmy Palmiotti's Devil's Trigger Daredevil Punisher miniseries also 1 issue away from being done. The Havoc of Edward Hyde, Thor number 7 here, bringing in a classic Thor villain.
Yep. And as happy as I am to see that, as often as Al Ewing chooses to give it to us, love to see Thor revisiting all of his earthbound foes. Mm-hmm. That large print headline there tells me that whoever put together this copy is someone who spent his childhood reading too many Marvel comics and too little of anything else. Because I believe he really does think that the word havoc is spelled with a K.
Oh my God.
This is exactly why I always pronounce it havoc every time I see it, because I'm hitting that stupid terminal K as hard as I can.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's just the Marvel PCs all auto-correcting havoc to havoc.
That's exactly what it is. No, that's exactly what it is. And it's not spell checking your damn work. How many times have we pointed that shit out when that's happened, you know? Mm-hmm. That's how things like Artist M and Writer M happen. Because I guarantee you that was an accident. If they knew Steve Orlando was writing it, then that was probably them forgetting the correct copy that they hadn't officially confirmed. But,
well, if so, they did it twice.
I know. Tell me about it.
That's true.
Yep.
And here they got this thing, which makes me think that maybe Alex Summers is making a guest appearance in this comic. But no, I think they just forgot how to spell the word havoc.
The havoc of it all. What can you do? Yeah. Also, I love that that Mr. Hyde's license plate is Hyde. Like, of course it would be.
Very straightforward.
Yeah. Yep.
I want to believe that that's Tony Danza in the back seat, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Alex Ross. Why not? Why not do it?
Not to mention there's someone being low key on the back there.
Oh yeah, he's very low key about it. Yeah, kind of high profile for low key, but what can you do? Page 67 there for issue 7 of Thor, and the Killuminati's final strike in New Avengers number 9. Ay vey.
I've been reading it. It's it's very much we're not the Thunderbolts. We're the New Avengers. Trust us.
Okay. Got it.
Even though our team composition is very Thunderbolts. Trust us. We're the New Avengers.
What can you do? Synergy, baby.
True.
Epic finale of Spirits of Violence on that same page as well. The Sabir Perzada book featuring Johnny Blaze and the other Ghost Rider. Page 68. And the end continues. I just like saying that on page 69. Issue 3 of the End 2099. Attack of the Knowified. If we're going to say Havok, I'll say Kano.
Yes. The Fall of Ultraman.
Yep, and look who's writing it, or co-writing it. Kyle Higgins himself on an Ultraman book. That's some damn good pedigree there.
Yeah, I think he's written all the Marvel Ultraman stuff so far.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah. Matt Grom co-writing it along with David Tinto on the artwork there. I don't think he's actually going to wind up falling, but either way, the Fall of Ultraman number 1. And on the next page, a new Predator miniseries starts up, Predator Bloodshed, where apparently Predator becomes Wolverine. No, I'm sorry, those are 2 claws, not 3. 5-issue mini there. Jordan Morris and Roland Boschke, page 71. 4th and final issue of Alien vs. Captain America on page 72 there. And this
is the mashup we didn't know we needed.
Okay, this deserves a because I guarantee you that Mr. Epperly will be interested in this one.
He would be. I'm still wondering if, just based on these character designs, if Fantastic Four is fighting the original 60s Rod Serling Planet of the Apes, or the Planet of the Apes seen in the more recent series of films.
Yeah.
Which I think Chris likes anyway. So
sure.
I think he would like it that much more if it were like the 1968 Planet of the Apes.
Dr. Zaius is listed. I don't think he's in the new movie.
That's true, yeah. And
okay then.
And the character design of at least the ape to the far right does look very old school apey, just even with the smile. So yeah, we'll see.
You're talking about the one with the large head?
Yes.
He's in that one's in one of the more recent movies. I watched it.
Okay.
See, that's
the thing. It's modern. It's modern designs with old school names.
I get you. Okay.
So it's a weird mix.
All right. Well, Josh Trujillo on the writing, Andrea DeVito on the artwork. This is going to be a lot of fun no matter what, I think.
All I care is that Dr. Zaius helps Dr. Doom discover that he can play the piano.
Well, he couldn't before.
Dr. Doom. All right, but familiar foes from the Marvel Universe have set their sights on Ape City, setting the stage for a battle royale that fans won't soon forget in this 5-issue mini on page 73. And on page 75, Misa been waiting for this.
Cha-cha!
Star Wars Jar Jar number 1. Co-written by Jar Jar himself, Ahmed Best. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. I'm actually excited that he's doing that. Mark Guggenheim co-writing it along with him. Who's also an excellent writer. Kieran McCone and Laura Braga on the artwork chores as Jar Jar faces the consequences of giving emergency powers to Chancellor Palpatine. It was very smart of him to do so. No, it wasn't.
What pivotal role does Jar Jar play in the formation of the Rebel Alliance?
We get the greatest Jedi Knight, Kelleran Beck.
Yep.
Played by Ahmed Best.
I like there was at least one what if type thing that actually went with the fan theory that Jar Jar was actually secretly a Sith, and it basically had Darth Jar Jar.
Which I think Robot Chicken also did a skit with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Wars Jar Jar #1 there on page 75. On we go to the trades. And Bendis and Pacelli's Spider-Man
original.
Worlds Collide in Premiere Collection on page 79 there. We also get another Gruenwald omnibus of Captain America with also Roy Thomas, D.G. Chichester, Margaret Clark, Howard Mackey, and more. Penciled by Richard Levins, Larry Alexander, Klaus Janson, Lee Weeks, and others. What was your gasp for there?
Capwolf.
Yes! Including also Manwolf. He's a Manwolf.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yep. Anything with Capwolf in it, I'm glad to see it in there, and that's what we get here with this omnibus on page 80. So, excellent. Ooh, wow. This is an omnibus. For the first time in one volume, the full epic trilogy of the Messiah trilogy that Ed Brubaker put forth along with Matt Fraction, Mike Carey, Kyle Yost, Peter David, Dwayne Straczynski, Zeb Wells, and others. This is a lot of comics right here. 1,112 pages of comic, but only for $125.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, that really is.
That's tempting.
Yeah.
That's tempting.
That's really tempting. And it's a hardcover at that. So, like, yeah, this is unexpected price there for Marvel. But, yeah, full trilogy.
I probably have all the issues, though.
I'm sure you do, yeah. That's on page 82 of the Marvel catalog. And then Garth Ennis's Punisher and Fury Max on page 83 here. This puts together Punisher the Platoon 1 through 6, Fury Max 1 through 13, Get Fury 1 through 6, and Punisher Soviet 1 through 6, all in one collection here. Great send-up cover to Punisher's first appearance as well on the main cover there. So Garth Ennis with Goran Parlov and Jason Burrows there on page 83. And get ourselves a new Spider-Man omnibus here. It's the when John Romita Jr. joined Amazing Spider-Man as ongoing artist there on page 85. And let's see if anything else catches
I think I have all those. The Marvel role-playing game, I have all those.
I'm pretty sure you do, yeah. Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe there on page 90 and 91. So if you want that in full trade paperback, that's the first five. That's all 5 issues of that first miniseries.
Happy birthday to me.
And we'll finish things out. See if there's anything on the bottom here hiding away. Thunderbolts Epic Collection Redemption. Nicieza and Busiek. This is when the Thunderbolts faced the Avengers with Hawkeye in the middle. So
I remember this.
These were some great issues of Thunderbolts back in the day. 42 through 52, as well as Avengers issues 31 through 34, and Thunderbolts Life Sentences from 2001. Got some artwork by Bagley in there, Patrick Zerker, George Perez himself, Charlie Adward. Good stuff there on page 98. And Roger Stern with a Avengers Epic Collection here, Absolute Vision, page 99.
Absolutely.
And 100, ROM Epic Collection, the original Marvel Years, Volume 4. This collects ROM 48 through 60, Annual number 3, and Incredible Hulk, issue 296. Super glad to see any sort of ROM back in print.
If memory serves, they should have one more volume's worth of ROM in them.
Yep, I believe they do. And if not, they should check their ROM. All right, moving on to Dynamite real quick.
Oh, yeah, there are a few good things in Dynamite this month.
Yes, there most definitely are. Especially what's listed as page 196, because rather than actually give it its own pages, they just separated out the Lunar catalog. So I'm just going to call it page 196, and we'll go from there. But this is Archie X Army of Darkness #1. Hell yeah. Groovy, baby. There's a certain man named Ash, you may have heard of him, who's doomed to battle against forces of evil over and over again, whether he likes it or not. This supernaturally wholesome community seems to break the curse that has plagued Ash ever since he first encountered its otherworldly evil all those years ago. Or rather, the curse was broken until an overcurious teenager named Archie finds a copy of the Necronomicon and reads a portion of it aloud, summoning the horrifying Deadites once again. Thanks, Archie. You suck. Eric Burnham, Bill Galvin in the crossover we didn't know we needed, but we actually did. Oh, man. Some really good covers to go along with that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dynamite's always been generous with their variants.
Yes, they have.
Ooh, board game.
Yes. Yeah, the Army of Darkness board game miniatures expansion set and the Army of Darkness board game itself. Available there on page 200 and 201. Thundercats Valentine's Day Special 2026, number 1. That's a Valentine's Day special I can get around. Ed Brisson, Elton Tomasi, yeah.
And, of course, Chitara is our cover girl.
Of course, because there's no other way to do it. Excellent there on page 202. And a Valentine's Day special for DuckTales on the very next page. Ooh. Yep, page 203.
Scrooge and Magica De Spell accidentally fall in love with one another.
Of course. Sounds about right.
Now.
Yes. Oh, my God.
The real headliner here. From the mind and pencil of writer-artist Roger Langridge, it's another Muppet comic, Muppets Noir. I think it's the first Muppet thing that Dynamite has put out.
I think so, too.
I believe you're right.
Kermit gets hit on the head with a stray brick and daydreams this hard-boiled detective story with himself as the main character.
You'll be happy to know, Murd, that I just got back this last weekend. I saw it's called Nochises for Us Mises. It's a full, well, not full because they do truncate a certain portions here and there, but basically a full live presentation of A Muppet's Christmas Carol. done in full parody, and of course in order to not get the Henson goons on them, instead of Rizzo, it's Pizza Rat.
Perfect.
Yep, it's very, very well done. Full cabaret version of Muppets Christmas Carol. Good times.
Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. And Muppets Noir does indeed on page 205.
It's basically a bonus arc several years after the fact of the Muppet Show comic that Mr. Langridge created for Boom a bunch of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even Supernatural gets a Valentine's Day special. Page 209. Dean and Sammy find love. Oh, does Ursula get a Valentine's special? No, it's just Ursula.
No, it's just Ursula.
Yes, and this is another one of these Disney villains miniseries that Dynamite has been publishing for the last couple of years, and I think it's going to be the first one that I actually end up buying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Here, she's presented as a member of a whole council of sea witches, most of them taken directly from world mythology. And as long as the creative team of Sherry L. Smith and Gabrielle Bagnoli don't present her as too sympathetic, they don't try to Cruella this too much, I think I'm on board.
I think you're going to be safe on that. Yeah. Yep. Well, Disney Villains, Ursula #1 there on page 211. And if you missed that the first issue of this was solicited, Raph, you should definitely wind up picking this one up if you have not decided to, or get it in trade. Gargoyles Darkwing Duck issue 2 here. Greg Weisman, Tad Stones, Ciro Cagliosi on the artwork chores, page 212.
Better watch out, you bad boys.
And of course, just telling me that I didn't have to actually kickstart it, but I basically kickstarted it into existence. The Gargoyles Classic Years trade paperback is going to be released via Dynamite as well. I own the Kickstarter-backed copy of this, and now it will be available for $35 for everyone to purchase themselves. Basically, the original Marvel Comics Gargoyles comics collected in one trade paperback here on page 213, including surprising artwork by Amanda Connor and some Marty Pasco written stories as well. That's on page 213. And the second issue, pending final approval. Disney Tim Burton's
That has
Nightmare
to be the
Before
long title.
Of course, yeah. The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Shiver of Christmas Town, pending final approval, issue 2. So the new ongoing for Nightmare Before Christmas continues here with its second issue on page 214. And a Nightmare Before Christmas Long Live the Pumpkin Queen graphic novel, also available by Liz Marsham and Alessio Patillo and Ismael Canales. That's on page 215 there. All right. I did read the first issue of the Lion King comic, Murd, and West Wing with animals. That's basically the way to describe it. At least from what we've gotten so far, as it's set. At least the first issue is set in the past, so it's Mufasa basically dealing with Animal Kingdom stuff and his daily routine. So.
That is kind of a perfect approach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it sounded interesting when you described it, so I might give it a shot.
Yep, page 219 there for the fourth issue of that series. And volume 1 of the Hercules series, as well as volume 1 of the Powerpuff Girls series, available there on page 221. The second issue.
Thundar.
Yeah, the fact that Jason Aaron is doing a Thundar series, I reiterate, is so but
Yeah.
it's happening. Second issue of that there on page 223. And the fifth issue of Harley Quinn X Elvira for everybody there on 225. Let's see. Joe Casey's Johnny Quest Time Flies gets a full collection on page 227. And Dynamite Blood Red continues by Fred Van Lente on page 228. Ooh, really like this Thundercats cover for issue 24. Declan Shelvey finishing that up. 232. And I think that's going to about do it. As everything else is kind of an also-ran, and that is that. Let's head over to Boom real quick and then do the Lunar Catalog, and that'll be that. There's Boom. Open ya. And Boom starts us off with a new Larry Hama comic.
Ooh.
Something else for the homophiles.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. MD Doc Bright on the illustrations for this. A brand new superhero universe being launched by Larry Hama. In a world where superheroes have become commonplace, heroes are required to join a union or else face serious financial liability for the damages caused during battles. I can imagine what Selena and Barnes is like in this universe. Enter the Superheroes Union, a team-up of genius Skyber, Psychic Lakshmi, the Mysterious Keeper, and child prodigy Necrotron, among others, as they battle villains and bureaucracy alike. Though the delicate balance of mitigating damage while saving lives is already tough enough, they've got their own worries with a constant stream of villains rising up to challenge them. Beginning of a brand new universe here for Larry Hama to play in. The Center Holds, number 1, on page 2 of the Boom catalog. Looks like a lot of fun on the next couple pages. Kind of a Dale Eaglesham vibe to the artwork.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, definitely. And that Steve Orlando guy's getting around. Hello, Darkness, Good Bones, and Other Sordid Tales, number 1. Illustrated by Dylan Snook, Federico Ceresa, Adam Gorham, and A.L. Kaplan. Spine-tingling special you won't want to miss. Here on page 7 for any of you horror fans. Get some nice anthology action going. Mary Sue by Megan Fitzmartin gets its 4th issue on page 13. And the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rise of Dark Spectre softcover for any of you Power Rangers fans. Melissa Flores. That collects issues 101 to 110 of Power Rangers. Power Rangers
Alpha.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Power Rangers Unlimited, the coin list #1, and Power Rangers Unlimited Hyperforce #1. Yes, that is Alpha, and he does not look like he's in a good mood.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yep. That's like Alpha. That's probably like Alpha 15 or something like that. That's more like an Ultron Alpha.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep. Page 18 for that. And then Power Rangers Prime Volume 3, Melissa Flores, Michael YG, and Simona de Guanfelice. This is the third arc of that, issues 9 through 12, as we get ourselves this version of the Green Ranger. It's definitely not who you're expecting it to be on page 19. And that is it for Boom. Not a whole lot to talk about this month there, so luckily there's plenty to talk about in Lunar, so let's head on over to there. Started off with some Abrams action, and Abrams doesn't really have a lot to talk about, but they do have scars. So I will discuss that a little bit. Love story between a boy with a scar and an abused, misgendered classmate, both victims of bullying at school. Scars is an ardent coming-of-age manga about acknowledging our differences and finding self-acceptance. It's by Brandon Arias and Montana Kane. Scars Volume 1 there on page 8 of the Lunar. All right, onward we go to Ahoy, and onward we go to Babs the Black Road South #2. Garth Ennis's first dip into the Ahoy world here with Jason Burrows. Second issue of that there on page 15. Toxic Crusaders gets its fourth issue there on page 17. Archie and Friends, Space Adventures. Because clearly that's what Archie does, is explore space.
Well, he does now.
Huzzah!
Yes. But it features a guest appearance by classic Silver Age Archie spaceman Cosmo the Merry Martian.
Nice. Very
interesting.
Very cool.
Yep. And so I'm in for the Cosmo cameo.
Of course. Yep. And Dan Parent writing, so it'll be some jolly fun.
Good, clean fun.
Page 21 for that. Join the Riverdale Join the Riverdale Astro Corps in foil. Why not?
It really is the 90s, huh?
Yeah, it sure as heck is, man. They never go away.
No, they don't.
All right. AWA. AWA brings us a lot of AWA stuff with AWA action. Let's find something that I actually want to talk about this month because a lot of it's the same. Let's see. Not much, unfortunately. Oh, well. Well, luckily, there's other stuff in the catalog to talk about because this is all sort of ongoing. Black Mask, Alice in Leatherland, trade paperback. I almost said Wonderland. Previously offered through other distributors. That's like...
Gee, I wonder who.
All over the catalog. You'll see that over and over again for probably the months to come. But back in time for Valentine's Day, that's where Alice in Leatherland will play. Yolanda Zanfardino is the writer, and Elisa Romboli is the artist for this. Romantic comedy is about a couple, most assuredly for adults. The story depicts, sometimes with little left to imagination, the ups and downs of casual sex. So that there is available for you there. Alice in Leatherland on page 63. And reissued, Black by Kwanzaa and Jamal on page 64 there. Yep.
What if only black people had superpowers?
Indeed.
That's your high concept.
That's there on page 64. All right. Moving a little bit further down, a Star Wars Vader's Little Princess by Jeffrey Brown. Always love these kids' book versions of Star Wars, as well as Darth Vader and Friends by Jeffrey Brown there on page 68. The Marvel Fitness Deck. Be the hero of your exercise adventure. That's it. I'm quitting Planet Fitness. I'm just gonna do whatever these cards tell me to do. Like that's it. Thank you, Chronicle Books on page 69.
Nice.
Ooh, The Art of Pixar. 320 pages here, available in February, the complete color scripts from 25 years of feature films, revised and expanded. So get some nice Pixar behind-the-scenes images and whatnot there on page 70. Dick Tracy Collection 1942 by Chester Gould. All the Dick Tracy comics that came out in that very year on page 76 through Clover Press. And now I skip DC. Skipping DC.
Big skip.
Skipping DC. I am in the middle of skipping DC. Why can't they just not include this and have it be in its own catalog? Oh, wait. They do that and they put it here anyway. All right, here we go. Bada boom. Done. Drawn and Quarterly. All right. And in Drawn and Quarterly, a lot of preview pages. But then, Metadoggos. I don't think that's exactly what it's going to be about, but a wisecracking dystopian visual feast. Gael Caldera is a self-styled junkyard dog who runs with his crew, the Metadoggos, a squad of teenage dirtbags living in the techno-megalopolis, the Metastation. With no place to crash after losing his friend's guitar, he drops a tab of Metadoggo at a late-night rave with his friends, and everything goes sideways. Strobing lights, teeming dance floors, and endless skyscrapers form an eerie, futuristic backdrop for this daring, imaginative exploration of race, class, and belonging through the lens of youth culture and science fiction. Fascinating. Available in stores on March 4th. Metadoggos by Berenice Mortois de Narbonne. Page 157.
The thing you're flipping through here is kind of an art book, but taking a hot or not approach. Oh, hence the title. Mm-hmm. It's an MFA gallery docent, Jessica Campbell, who's written and drawn this, and it's her sounding off on which classical artists are hot or not. Like, how doable is Paul Gauguin, if you've ever wondered?
I mean, look, man, come on. The world has wondered for years. But what I want to know, what about Matisse? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure she's got thoughts.
Yowzas. Well, we'll have thoughts, too, if you go ahead and pick this up on page 162. And there's some really great preview pages for it on the next couple of pages.
Samples of the different artists' art, and then kind of an interpretation of each artist's self-portrait, with critique.
Good stuff. All right. Moving forward past Dynamic Forces, as guess what? They're just variants. All right. Mm-hmm. And also moving past Dynamite. We were just here. All right. Okay. And well, now that I know that they're just going to be republishing it, even with the same numbers, I may very well just start doing Dynamite as part of the Lunar catalog and not separate it out. So
it would make sense.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Past it we go. And Maid Cafe, spelled M-A-I-D, in the Keen Spot portion of the catalog on page 246, written by Amy DeWong and Kazue Watanabe. This is a terrifying hardcore slasher horror manga from the writer of Papa Duke and the artist of Marry Me. Yeah, somehow I don't think Marry Me is really going to be what you're going to be getting here with Maid Cafe. No. Mao's love for her chainsaw and her mounting hatred for the ungrateful men of a maid cafe explode in a delicious bloodbath, spilling out over a shopping center. Her fellow maids soon catch the fever of retribution, and the girls of the otherwise competing cafes, decorated in cheeky aprons, pink hair bows, and blue suede shoes, run amok through the mall's pachinko parlors and snack shops. Join the maids in a frilly pastel uprising. Love it.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Maid Cafe, M-A-I-D Cafe on page 246.
I'll probably wait for the trade on that one.
Sounds about right. And Witchtober by Caden Phoenix. It just looks cute, and that's why I'm mentioning it. Page 248. All right. Get a little further down. Fantagraphics has some very interesting stuff to talk about. The Marvel Creator Collection, #1, Back to the Savage Land. Barry Windsor Smith at Marvel, Volume 1. This is on page 256 of the Lunar Catalog. The first of a 3-volume series collecting Barry Windsor Smith's work at Marvel, featuring his early work on X-Men, The Avengers, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man, as well as his amazing run on Kazar and Astonishing Tales, and much more. This is 352 pages of full hardcover action for $50. And some great Barry Windsor Smith stuff to go along with it there on page 256. And legacy numbered Uncle Scrooge 465, First Aiders of Dawson as well. Get some further Uncle Scrooge comic action for you there on page 257 of the books. Donald Duck is almost at issue 400. How about that? 258. And then Paul Theroux and Steve Lafleur bring us Crazy for You. Double feature of Love and Obsession. 2 short stories by the acclaimed novelist are adapted into comics in a feat of vision only veteran cartoonist Steve Lafleur could accomplish. So they took 2 Paul Theroux comics, stories, and put them together in comic book form in Crazy for You here on page 259. And it will indeed be crazy, I'm sure. Down we go to page 267. Cortland Cox, Jennifer Lawson, Alfred Hassler, and Benton Resnick bring us Comics of the Movement, reintroducing classic as well as forgotten comics published during the social movement of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Comics of the Movement connects modern readers to the comics which inspired and educated past generations. Reprinted for the very first time, paired with classic 1957 comics Martin Luther King and the Montgomery Story from the Fellowship of Reconciliation, and others as well. So do check that out on page 267, Comics of the Movement. The Curse of Dark Shadows, OGN. Page 278 here. Craig Hurd McKinney and Jock, previously offered through other distributors, Shock of Shocks. This is an original graphic novel containing classic characters from the cult television show with art by frickin' Jock. Like it's a Dark Shadows OGN with art by Jock. Like, all right.
That's pretty impressive.
Is this the Jock, though? Because it's spelled J-O-K.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I fell for it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's not spelled the correct way. You are absolutely right. It's a different Jock spelled J-O-K. Thank you very much. I was going to fall for that. But at the same time, it's still Dark Shadows. So I feel like that should almost be in the solicit. Like, no, we didn't spell it wrong. It's someone else. But what are you going to do? Page 278 for that out of Hermes. Dark Shadows, of course, being one of the longest running soaps in history. And the only real one to really be like sci-fi based. And now I get to skip through Image. See, the Lunar Catalog really isn't that long when you take out half of it.
True. Still, I might not make it to the end.
We're pretty damn close to the end. Trust me, because I'm pretty damn close to the end. So here we go.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's see. Voila.
Like, just going off my personal order, I didn't have a lot of new books.
No, fair enough. Plus, a lot of stuff is already like ongoing in this. So I'll mention Jimmy Palmiotti's Pop Kill #1 Seasonal Flavors by him and Juan Santa Cruz. Imagine a world where the two dominant and competing cola companies, each worth billions, are owned by former conjoined twins who are now separated and have grown to hate each other so much they hire assassins, saboteurs, and espionage personnel to meddle with each other on a daily basis. That sounds unhinged.
It sounds terrific.
And awesome.
Yep. This was a 4-issue mini this past summer, and apparently it's the best-selling creator-owned thing that Massive has yet, or Mad Cave has yet published.
Wow. Okay.
So people liked it, apparently.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I own I own 3 of the 4 issues. I think I missed number 2, and I have to. But I've got 20 years to track it down before I get around to reading it.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if we could scroll up real quick here to the thing above it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, never mind. Never keep going.
Okay.
There's something else, Terabytes, I wanted to talk about. I think it's probably.
Oh, you know what? Actually, well, I'll mention real quick. Freddie Williams did a cover for the Phantom, so that's something to point out there. Phantom number 5 there on page 396. Was it the Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre?
It wasn't that, but it's you couldn't not read that title aloud.
100%.
The Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. Yes, it's Tiger King meets Cocaine Bear.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Meets Hungry Hippos, I guess.
Yeah, Fred Kennedy and James Edward Clark on page 399 there. Oh, the insanity. Gotta love it.
And it's a 70s period piece, too.
Oh, yeah.
You could throw disco into that title while you're at it.
Why the hell not? What was it in particular you were looking for? Just so I know what the.
Well, it's their first Saturday in May offering.
Oh.
And it is later on. I think it's close to the bottom of this section, actually.
Got it. Okay, cool. Is Ted Okay by Dave Chisholm, I'll point out, as it's both written and drawn by the one and only. Story about Ted and Sarah. Ted, isolated and paranoid, works for a mega corporation owned by the world's only trillionaire. He suffers from night terrors, obsessively draws the same mysterious figures again and again, all while listening to one track of music on repeat. Oh, and the only person he ever talks to is a stray cat. His humanity is hanging by a thread. Sarah is a new arrival to the city, fighting her own demons, and her job is to remotely spy on Ted to ensure he doesn't hurt anyone or himself. When his mental state begins to crack, Sarah compassionately intervenes to help, and things go catastrophically wrong. Is Ted Okay matches up the paranoid existence of Severance with the cosmic sci-fi of Akira, while exploring what happens when the act of help goes horribly wrong. So any of you Akira fans, this might be up your alley. And that's on page 409 there. Is Ted Okay? All right. Head past Gatchaman here and that. Vincent van Gogh's Sadness Will Last Forever, or Van Gogh, if you're listening to this in Europe. Francesco Barilla and Saka bring this story of Van Gogh and his life to life here on page 419. Darkest Shadows of the Painter's Life and Inspirations, available there for you. And Flash Gordon number 1 returns in an all-new black and white edition by Jeremy Adams and Will Conrad, page 421.
Yep, that's one of their free comic book day offerings. Mm-hmm. And this is the other thing, the first issue of Mark Russell's Terabytes.
Indeed. Yep. Felice Ruiz and the art chores for that as well.
Delving deeper into the shadows of our digital existence, exploring the uncharted territories of human consciousness shaped by technological evolution.
Fascinating.
I can get it. Basically, technological advances are bad if you use them wrong, is what it boils down to.
Which none of us know to be true. That would be insanity.
And it's never been a story told before. James Cameron's never touched on this.
No,
the Wachowskis have never touched on this.
No. Page 422.
But now Mark Russell has.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he most definitely has. All right. Damsel from Distress, Andrew Clemson and Mal Mora, abandoned as a child by her adventurer father and having fought her way up through the ranks of the kingdom's premier espionage agency, Beck has become their top operative. So when a dwarven princess is kidnapped, Beck must leap into action. But can she complete her mission when the ghosts of her family's past hang heavy over the case? Mal Mora, Andrew Clemson, Damsel from Distress, an original graphic novel on page 425 out of Maverick.
Dan's so desperate for work, he's working under pen names.
I know, right? Seriously.
Yeah.
Bad Dan Mora. Let other people do work.
Exactly.
The House of Lothar. Kaylin Smith, writer and artist. It's a exciting new supernatural fantasy series. Sawyer Ellis takes a job at the mysterious Gothic mansion, the House of Lothar, believing it's just an ordinary janitorial job. But as she settles into her new role, she quickly realizes the place is not only stuck in the past, but saturated in the supernatural. She might be a little over her head. That's what you get in the House of Lothar out of AMP Comics, one of Massive Indies, on page 433. And for you, Raph, Shane.
It's a re-release, I think.
Oh, it is? Gigante #1?
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Okay, cool. Well, Shane McKenzie, JM Sueta Chema, an attempt at an international documentary goes brutally wrong. It's, Lucha Libre, but horror. Action horror, for that matter. That's what you get with Gigante here on page 435. All right, out of there we go. And Fur Force, bold new miniseries by Larry Guidry. Tomorrow Fox and her fellow furry heroes battle the menace of Catlactus. I just had to mention it for that, and we're moving on. The villain's name is Catlactus.
Just as well.
Page
Yep,
445.
and I think you can see somebody who looks a little like Hoppy the Marvel Bunny in that group shot.
You are absolutely right, yes.
But it's distinguishable from the Marvel Comics character Galactus, and that's all that matters.
Exactly, and distinguishable from Hoppy the Bunny because it's not him, we swear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Promise.
We promise. We cross our hearts and hope to live. Do Not Disturb looks disturbing, so,
Yep.
that's up to you.
Yep. It's like an Art Deco Sixth Sense.
Basically.
Looks kind of good.
Yeah. And then Artillery here by Jimmy Robinson. That's AI Stole Your Heart. We're going to steal it back. The Mona Lisa herself has been stolen. Now there's only one gateway left to the world of creativity, and a team of artists assembled by Mona to fight back against the evil forces that's stealing humanity's creativity now have to train extra hard to rescue her and keep the doors of creativity open for all humanity. Thank you, Jimmy Robinson. We needed this story. Artillery on page 466. AI bad.
Yeah, very bad.
Yeah. And I think that's going to finish it for the Massive Indies for the most part. So let's see what is next after them. I think we're just about ready for... Yeah, I think we're near the end. But I will point out Will Eisner, a comics biography previously offered. I'm sure I've mentioned this many times before, but it's a really good graphic novel biography of the one and only Will Eisner on page 508. And on that same page is also Nina Simone in comics out of NBM Graphic Novels. Oni, anything special out of Oni this month? The Autumn Kingdom, The Wraithbound Queen by Cullen Bunn himself. Stunning new chapter in the deathly dark fairy tale begins here on page 514. So if you've been following that, you get ourselves a new miniseries. And Tortured Hearts just has a great cover. and Jordy,
very EC.
Oh, very EC. Yep, and because it is AC, and that's and that it's just living in that EC world, baby. That's it. Mind you, writers Jordy Belair, Teenie Howard, Blake Howard, Anna Senti, really great creators behind this this Tortured Hearts one shot here for Valentine's Day on page 516. Spirit of Shadows continuing there as well, and the Rick and Morty really The End. Oh yeah, Spirit of Shadows looks fantastic. When it is out in full, I will be definitely checking it out. That's Nick Cagnetti, Daniel Ziegler, Nick Cagnetti, and the art chores there. 521. Gesundheit.
Dankeschön.
All right, and that's it for Oni. And I think after that, anything in paper cuts, not really. A lot of the same from them. So we will head over to what's after that, and I'm pretty sure that's just going to be tomorrow's because I don't really have anything until then. 2000 AD. Any of you 2000 AD fans, there's plenty of stuff to read, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just go straight to that this month. Get past Titan since we already talked about it. There we go. All right, so in the world of tomorrows this month, if I didn't press it too many times, I did not. How about that? Voila.
Here we go.
Okay. Roy Thomas, A Life in Four Colors, 1940 to 1966. The full life of Roy Thomas here in hardcover form. You gotta love it.
He's only he died when he was 26.
No.
It's only the first volume, right?
I know. Yeah. It's late.
Yeah.
It's late, Raph. This is a specific portion of Roy Thomas's life, which you will eventually get in full. But for now, it's 1940 through 1966 of Roy Thomas's life in that era. He details his brief and turbulent time as editorial assistant of DC Superman titles under Mort Weisinger and the pivotal first year plus of his career at Marvel, working with Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Ditko, Romita Everett, and some of the greatest talents of the Marvel Age of Comics. Plus, you'll have a ringside seat at some of the earliest comic conventions and at the fateful 1965 New York Herald Tribune interview that caused a seismic rift between Lee and Kirby. Roy Thomas was there for it, and it'll be available for you in stores on April 22nd. That's on page 651. And the comic book creator this month, informative conversation with John Buscema, and a biographical essay about the Marvel legend John B. Cook. Plus, we share about the life and tragic fate of Bill Mantlo, and Inside Comics printer Eastern Color Printing by Sean Clancy, and more with Sherry Flanagan, and a chat with Rick Estrada. That's all there in Comic Book Creator issue 43 on page 652.
That's a good one.
And Alter Ego, baby.
Yep, it's one of those FCA, Fawcett Collectors of America issues, with a special focus chronicling the creative clashes between Captain Marvel co-creator C.C. Beck and the man under whom he had to work when the Shazam title was launched at DC in the 70s, legendary editor Julie Schwartz.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So a lot of behind-the-scenes strife on display there from a history that was tumultuous, to say the least. So
C.C. Beck didn't stay on that 70s Shazam book for very long, and this will tell us why.
Indeed. Yep. Alter Ego issue 199. We're one issue away from issue 200 of Alter Ego. Good for them on that. That's on page 652. And Alter Ego 191, back in print here, previously offered through Diamond as another FCA issue, as we get one focusing on Captain Marvel Jr., and a look at Elvis Presley during his stellar career from the 50s through the 70s as part of that.
Yeah, because he was influenced by Captain Marvel Jr., his favorite superhero. Now, his later stage costumes were kind of modeled on Cap Jr.'s.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
That Elvis biopic we got a little while ago dwelt pretty heavily on that point, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. Yep, that's on page 653 there. And finish it off with Back Issue Magazine 156. This is a throwback as well, but it's Bronze Age graphic novels covered here. So 1980s graphic novels from Marvel, DC, First Comics, Conan, DC sci-fi graphic novel series, and more. So if you want to learn more about that, it's all there on display in issue 156 on page 654. And unless there's anything hiding underneath it, I don't think there is. All right, fine. Mega Man X #1. Daniel Arsenault and Hanzo Steinbeck. Mega Man X gets a new series out of Udon on page 664, just in time for a new Mega Man game to be coming out. So good timing on that. And a Darkstalkers comic, because why the hell not? And is that? No, that can't be. Never mind. Okay. I was going to say that's some very familiar artwork, but there's no way. So Tim Seeley and Marshall Dillon, art by Alberto Albuquerque as well there on page 666. All right.
And here's this thing, which I believe was the cover feature for the catalog.
Yep.
It's coming out from Vault, I think.
I believe so, yeah. Yep. Dungeon Crawler Carl. And I need to move you guys out of the way so I can actually read this text because it's hard to read otherwise. New achievement. You could read the first chapter for free. Wow, you could read? Hey, we just went into the entire catalog. Come on. The lit RPG smash hit phenomenon and New York Times bestseller Dungeon Crawler Carl is now a graphic novel for the very first time, and this free comic book day is your chance to read the first chapter early. They called it Free Comic Book Day. Ha 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 ha. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Getting stuck on a sadistic alien game show with her cat. This free special edition collects the first episode and more of the Webtoon series with over 3 million reads and 175,000 subscribers. So, Dungeon Crawler Crawl. You're at the bottom, but you're at the top of our hearts. so, there you go with that. All right, and that is the end of this particular previews. So,
gentlemen, I regret to inform you, our pizza is free.
Ah, man, damn it. Ooh, free pizza. But yes, I kind of knew it was
Wise man say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
That's very true. Also, no Bob's Burgers comic. You know, like, come on, man. Like, I wore this shirt hoping that maybe I'd get lucky and there'd be a Bob's Burgers comic in there somewhere. But what are you going to do?
You're out of luck.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, this was a thrill and a joy, even if it took us forever and a day. This is 100% the Christmas gift to all y'all out there for making it through this. So, absolutely.
Yes. Yep. I was happy to be a part of it, Ian. This was necessary recreation for me, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tonic for the Eberlean spirit.
Amen to that. Copyright Chris Eberle, all rights reserved. So... excellent. And Raph, thank you for sticking with us, man. Because
I wake up very early nowadays, so I didn't know if I would make it through, but we made it through. And I added 1 or 2 books to my order.
Good.
I had to double check some things. Apparently, DCBS had Infinity War on solicit last month, so I already ordered it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I didn't get the cover I wanted, but I ordered it.
All right. Well, there you go. But thank you guys very much for sticking with us. There'll probably be one more episode released this year, but it will be a quote-unquote rerun, as I will be airing the Back to the Bins episode that Murd, Shane, and Chris were on a couple weeks back. Was Sean Whalen on there with you guys as well, if I remember correctly?
Was who?
Was Sean Whalen on that episode as well? The Daredevil, I'm sorry, the Batman Year One episode.
Oh, yes, he was on for that, right.
Yep, excellent. Okay, great. So Batman Year One will be airing in full on this feed. If you guys didn't pick it up on the Back to the Bins feed, probably sometime before the end of this year. But that is that with that. And with that, some credits while I still have some voice. Email address for Comic Timing is comictiming@gmail.com. Facebook.com/Comic Timing is where you can find us and our Comic Timing fan group, so please join that and join in on the conversation. YouTube.com/@Comic Timing Podcast is where you can find a video version for this episode. You could also find Raph's shorts on that very channel, and looking forward to more of those to come. We're on Blue Sky as Comic Timing. We're on Instagram as Comic Timing Podcast. We're on Threads as Comic Timing Podcast. And that is it for the socials. You can find me as I am sci-fi on Blue Sky, and I_am _sci-fi on Instagram and all that jazz. Raph, where can they find your socials again?
Raph does stuff everywhere.
Indeed. Yep. And Murd, you can find socially if you run into him in person. So
Murdo's Christmas Barn and pretty much nowhere else.
Exactly. So with that, for Raph, for Murd, for all of you, I'm Ian Levesey, reminding everybody out there that there's always time for comics, even when it comes to the end of the year. Shalom. It's Hanukkah.